scattered across the country to find out what the pulse of Nigerians are at the wake of the hike in food prices. Stick around, don't go away.
On the day list this morning, Nigerians encourage corruption, cites first of the Punch newspaper. America's Nigerian Gardener Forum calls for Okonjo Iweala's resignation. Page 2 of the Punch newspaper.
The dailies every day on Coretv News.
Which information do you have on the Nigerian legal system?
It does not augur well for any country where some certain persons or agencies claim to be above the law.
It's not even going to happen. You decide on the military. Is to reform the military itself and make it more subordinate to civil authority. Because for instance that the military has been abused. The military has come for itself.
How familiar are you with the Nigerian law and the constitution, especially as it concerns you?
The electoral law, as properly constituted in my mind, has really given Nigerians hope in the course of our electioneering activities.
Join us for an in-depth analysis of issues and all the happenings in the Nigerian judicial system. Stay updated, stay informed. This is Judiciary Today. Judiciary Today, showing at this time on Coretv News.
Every day of the week will bring to you divergent views on news making the headline.
If people who commit crime are being rewarded with national honors, with national appointments, then where are we going in this country?
It's not about whether it was Jonathan or whether you are going to have a Buhari. It's the kind of political structure we run.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
We are talking about a Buhari who at 41 became head of state. The man did not exhibit the attribute of somebody that is strong intellectually.
So, comrade, you're saying if you become governor, you're going to bring back Okada?
Of course.
You will bring back the market women on the streets?
Excuse me, don't put words in my mouth.
On Core Digest, we bring all of this to the court of public opinion, where you are the judge.
Women share the most amazing thoughts on national issues, and they do it passionately.
For most men that are educated, that are exposed, will see nothing to it.
The population and the level of poverty made me cry. No infrastructural development whatsoever. And you tell me Lagos is working?
That was an accident, and it was a one-off thing. Other than that, there has never been any situation in Nigeria where a Nigerian attacked anybody just because of where they came from.
Sharing the adorable word of women in politics every week, only on Coretv News.
As news breaks, people don't let events pass without giving their comment or reactions.
When the problem arises in society, these are the people that will be consulted.
To cleanse the corruption in society, we are not to provide information for good life and also security of life and property in this country.
The academic society have the loudest voice on this platform.
Whether you call it a sovereign national conference or a national conference, it's about the people of Nigeria.
There should be a change in power.
In any way they can do it.
I think there's a script already.
Every Tuesday at 8:45 p.m. on this station. From the Ivory Tower, a must-watch for the learning minds.
Some pundits believe that as long as the political system is driven by selected few, corruption may be difficult to fight.
You should be careful about what you say.
I am not the only politician. Even if I've wronged anyone, it is time to forgive me.
Please for Arena every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. and a repeat broadcast every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more.
in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
Talk to our husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
But some people will strong for Yoruba land, will be strong man, you don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
All new on Bodyworks.
Welcome to Bodyworks, the fitness, wellness, and lifestyle show.
It's often difficult to believe.
Infertility is a condition that can actually be cured.
When you say cured, I actually find that very difficult to believe. I'm sorry.
Being an autistic child doesn't necessarily reduce your lifespan.
Let's kind of start with gonorrhea.
They call it gono.
Gono.
There's something we call plaque and calculus. Plaque is a soft tenacious material that adheres to the surface of the teeth.
And it could be life-threatening.
Most children who have enuresis as a bedwetting, about 8 out of 10, I can tell you, will have the disease. It's called juvenile diabetes.
There are a lot of diet pills out there, and
there's no weight loss pill in your bottle.
Okay.
Point blank.
Are you saying that it's okay to bleach?
It depends on how you do it.
And then,
when the fibroid does not disturb the woman, we don't disturb the fibroid.
Well, that's been our show.
Showing every Saturday at 7:30 p.m.
Order of the day, and are growing longer with every passing day in Africa's biggest producer of crude oil. And now, not just motorists, but the economy risks grinding to a halt.
Is these people causing all these things? They are owning this fuel, they are touching it, they keep this fuel somewhere, they no sell it, they want us to be solving for it. The stress of getting fuel this time around has become unbearable, as you can see. Many motorists have been here for more than 6 hours queuing to get fuel. Sometimes the filling stations operators will just stop all of a sudden that they are not selling fuel.
The problem is a standoff between the federal government and oil importers over unpaid fuel subsidies. Nigerian oil importers are claiming close to $2 billion for fuel subsidies before they resume steady supply, but the government disputes the figure. Meetings to settle the staggering subsidy claims have not yielded fruit, and in the meantime, there are no fresh supplies of fuel deepening the crisis situation.
Following from the release of the last payment, 154.56, the owners of the trucks have agreed to allow their trucks to start loading.
We've discussed the issues they have on the table, and we are looking into them. Government is a continuum, and I think that you'll find that whatever the issues are, they will be resolved so that Nigerians will not suffer.
This has now given rise to roadside fuel vendors, most of them young men in their mid-20s, while exploiting desperate motorists and feeding a costly black market. Indeed, it is brisk business for them, buying the fuel and reselling it at fuel meters from the pump station at a hefty margin. So lucrative has this black market become that they have formed cartels bribing pump station workers to frustrate motorists and reserve supplies for them.
I have to have profit because some people wait the queue, where they have to hurry up to go their work or their job. So I will sell it for them. If I call it for them 6,000, some of them will say 5,000. I will sell it for them 5,000. So that is my own profit. Maybe like 3,000, 2,000. Now that one they used to chop. Before I buy that fuel, they will tell me that in this 30 liter, I will pay the 300 naira for keg. After that, I will bribe the attendant with the inside filling station.
These few vendors behind seems to be the real winners of the crisis. Just about 100 meters away from the pump station, a litre of petrol sells at more than double the official pump price simply because some motorists can't afford the endless waiting.
The corruption started from the filling station. Even the manager The way they used to treat people in this country is very, very bad. Why a lot of people are killed from 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and they are not selling food for them.
No way. Today, no light.
The situation threatens to get out of hand if not addressed urgently. Nigeria will need up to 40 million litres of imported fuel per day to match with the existing demand. Refining a quarter of its crude oil should provide steady supply of fuel, but the existing refineries are too small and poorly maintained. The federal government recently issued several domestic refinery licenses, but most could not start due to prohibitive cost investment.
Franco Malape.
And so the story continues, and of course, the big question would be how long more will Nigerians have to groan under this great burden of scarcity of food supply in the country? We're joined on the show this morning by Dr. Dokun Adedeji, a veteran public affairs analyst. Thank you very much, sir, for finding time to come.
Thank you very much.
Wondered how you got it here this early.
Maneuvering. I got some fares which I haven't used in a week. Okay. So, and because my house is not too far from here, so I had to take the back roads
to
get
from
here.
The black market?
No, not the black market, actually, but should I say a green black market. It was actually a petrol station, okay. But I had to go very early. I paid more than pump price, but at least I got. And so what I did was to manage what I got. I'm not sure it will last me to the end of the week, but that's where we are.
Really, what do you make of this at this time? It's a snowball effect. For some, there's not been power supply. For those who depend on power supply to get water, that also means there hasn't been water. And then the economic implication of this for Nigerians who have to transport themselves from homes to workplaces. At this crucial time of transition, what do you make of it?
To be honest with you, I don't really want to shout foul, but I'm beginning to smell a rat. And I need for people to look at it. It's not as if one wants to raise any issue, but for me it's a red flag. You just said it. We're in the process of transition. The new government will come in on Friday. As we speak, aviation fuel is not available. You can't fly. You can't travel by road. You can't move to your offices. You have no light. You can't watch television to know what is happening. The telecoms are going to shut down, so there'll be no communication. And the banks are going to tell you they don't have money, they can't open. And the ominous one for me that I just thought about, the army just opened a radio station. So if you begin to tie all this together, you begin to have a very queer feeling. This is not the first time we have scarcity in Nigeria, but it has never been this widespread. And as you said, snowball effect. And we should not be careless. That's my own bit. It doesn't mean that anything will happen, but let us not take anything for granted. For me, the thing that begin to play in my mind is what Okupe and Co said before the elections, that look, we will not hand over to this man, that we rather do this and that. It may not be what is going to play out, but don't be careless. Let Nigerians be vigilant. All this no fear may be red herring, disturbing our visibility of the big show. And so for me, that's the way I'm beginning to look at it. We can look at fear scarcity, but begin to look at the ancillary things playing out. So for me, I want to also be very careful.
But would you say our leaders saw this coming and they just decided to just shove it by the side? This challenge, do you think it was premeditated?
If this was happening, I won't say it was. But to my mind, I'm not going to rule out anything. And that's being honest with you. In the first quarter of this year, we spent close to how much on fare subsidy that nobody knows what it really does. And look at it, they have not attended to it. They keep saying, don't worry, we will get better. It hasn't gotten better. And the thing is, these suppliers are asking for more money. They're asking for another 200 billion. So I think they know. The president hasn't spoken a word since all this started. it falls within his purview and responsibility. If he said to us that I'm still in charge,
that's right.
That look, don't let anybody run the power government. I'm saying, so where is this being in charge? We can't say it.
Well, the president actually said there's handing over peace and stability to the incoming administration. What do you make of such statements?
Lai Mohammed's statement captures everything. Where's the peace? You see, for me, when people talk about peace, I smile. I remember, was it Peter Tosh who said, for me, without justice, there cannot be peace. What we have is the peace of the graveyard. If you say we got peace, look at all the crises surrounding us. Know this, people are suffering, kids can't go to school, you can't do anything. A lady I learned was going to hospitals, giving fuel to hospitals. Even in the best of times, the hospitals are not functioning optimally. Now to think about it, for me, this is not a peace. I don't think, look, I'm usually biased about this president. I never voted for him. In 2011, I campaigned against him because I don't think, and I didn't think, then I still don't think, he should have been president because it doesn't have what it takes. In other countries with this kind of emergency, the president should be speaking, we should be seeing him out front there, doing something. He owns the cabinet, he chose the minister for petroleum, so why can't he take responsibility for this?
Well, you said it doesn't have what it takes, but of course, when you look at his administration, others would praise him for the achievements he's had, say in the agriculture sector, for the empowerment programs he actually brought up. Well, don't you think that is what saying he had done well in his own feet?
How Nigerians grade things, I don't understand. If you're at the university, if you have to sit for 10 courses and you pass 3, nobody's going to promote you. So for me, that's non-performance. Look, Agric is just a part, it's a segment of national life. And not even only that, how many people find food on their table? I mean, they can make all the noise about Agric, about what the guy has done, fine. But for me, performance is when I don't have to groan. The ordinary man wants to get things at prices that he can afford. Where's the food? Cassava bread, I've never seen it. All this is, look, there's so much hype about our Greek sector. The thing for me is, where is the food? We're still importing rice. We spend billions importing rice. And we say, I don't want to run in there. It's not that I'm denigrating this government or the person of the president. But for me, look, other countries, and I just said to you, you can't sit for school SAT. You're offering 8 courses to get a certificate, you pass 3. You say, I've done well. Why is not going to give you a certificate? It's the same thing with the president.
But have you also considered, sir, that all those challenges boils down to probably the non-payment of fuel subsidy, a backlog since last year, August. But this was the same administration that also told Nigerians that it was high time we removed fuel subsidy. Wouldn't be a challenge that, of course, they saw coming, offered a solution, but Nigerians kicked against it?
I don't think so. Nigerians are very reasonable people, if I must say. The thing is, and what Buhari also has said in the last interview with Daily Trust, show me the sequence of subsidy. If you show Nigerians that this is the subsidy, and this is where it comes from, this is what you're doing, Nigerians are not unreasonable to understand. But the thing is, people are milking, if there's a subsidy or whatever, the subsidy trap, people are milking it, people are getting rich from it, and they are, so the kerosene, how many people buy kerosene at the distillery? This is subsidized. I mean, the thing that I say, as much as one needs to be careful so that it doesn't seem as if you don't like Jonathan and his government at all, is the subsidy. Buhari has said it. He said in 2011, he said, show me the subsidy. If you show me the subsidy, then I'll believe you. This subsidy is a racket. For me, it is a racket. Check the people that have been charged for it. Until now, they know the government will change. They are now rushing them to court. What had happened?
Just a minute, sir. We're joined by our correspondent, Biola Oluwale, who is somewhere at the heart of Lagos. Can you tell us, Biola, what the fuel scarcity situation is like where you are now?
The situation is terrible, and there is lamentation on the mouth of commuters, there is 100% increment in transportation fee. Normally, it's from Oba to Secretariat is 50 naira and 100 naira. This morning, people ordered it 150, 200, from 150 upwards to 200. And some filling station last night sold for 300 naira per litre. Specifically, there is a filling station in Oba, nationwide by name, sold by a litre of petrol for 300 naira per litre. And black market, on the black market, it's 600 naira per litre. The situation is a case of lamentation on the side of Nigeria. And to worsen the situation, there has a new life. Every part of where I reside has been on a blackout since.
It's all right. Can you tell us what, of course, we understand the hike in transportation, the price of transporting from one place to the other. But what's the traffic light like on the street of Lagos? It looks as if people still get the commodity.
Very free flow of traffic. Normally from Oba to Secretariat, it's usually 30 to 45 minutes because of traffic gridlock. This morning it took us to 10 minutes from Oba to, less than 10 minutes from Oba to Secretariat, which shows that many drivers, many car owners are being forced to tow their cars at home.
It's all right, Biola. We'll be back with you when you have more updates for us. Thank you for joining us this hour on the show. Many are saying that perhaps there are a lot to learn also from this particular crisis. If people would not go out with their private vehicles, probably Lagos will experience less traffic congestions in due time.
Yeah, you're talking about the ideal situation in the sense that their transportation system is good. But our transportation system, you know, is abysmal. It's next to zero. There's no nation that is serious that transports the people by road. How many would cars, buses carry? The best thing is mass transportation. And then until, you see, the thing with Nigeria is this. We tackle issues with silo mentality. You take one issue and everybody runs after it. That's not the way to run a system. The way to system to do a holistic review. And then you see how they all interconnect. And then you deal with those things and then you form a totality. You can't work this way. The transport system, oh, I want to do that, I want to buy buses. No, it's not going to work. Where are the roads they will run on? Where's the fare in case it happens like this? If, for instance, look at the streets of London. People go to work, they live outside London. I know people live in Milton Keynes. And then they go to London, they don't get late to work. They know when to get to the tube station, and then it takes them. You can take tram, you can take whichever you choose. So it's your choice. Until we have an integrated system of governance in which we look at things in a holistic manner, we will keep running after shadows.
But why do you think everything seems to be crumbling down at the tail end of President Goodluck Jonathan's administration?
You see, okay, I tried to avoid Mr. Jonathan, but I need to speak it because he is the man and the helm of it. He speaks of misgovernance. Look, honestly, the 6 years of this gentleman, for me, I don't know what others say, it's been a disaster. It's a time in which Nigeria has been on autopilot. Anything goes, everybody does what they choose, all the ministers work as they choose. You don't see an integration, a synchronization of their purpose. And so the thing is, it's falling apart because he had never had grip on it, and then now he really does not care.
Do you think if he had won the 2015 election, would this have happened?
It would be worse. You see, what will happen is we will patch it up. It won't fall apart like this, and then you know how he does, he patch this up. But a day will come. Now we are hit with about 63 billion debts. People are not being paid salaries. What will happen? Will it just, because he won the election, will they disappear? It won't disappear. The only thing is the crisis has shown forth the level of misgovernance or lack of governance that had been. It is my hope that somebody is going to sit down, which is going to be tight on the next government, to sit down and tackle this in a meaningful manner, in a manner that you bring some sense. You know, Tinubu says common sense revolution. in which you bring some level of common sense into play into this process, it would have been worse if Mr. Jonathan.
But are we also considering the roles being played by other stakeholders, oil importers, oil marketers, the tank drivers are on strike, NLC is threatening to go on strike? If the NLC, for instance, goes on strike at this time, would you call that a right step in the right direction? It would totally crumble the system.
The system itself is crumbled, but on what basis would NLC go on strike?
They're talking about in solidarity with the challenges being faced by civil servants and, of course, unpaid salaries in some parts of the country.
You know, for me, I have never liked the role of labor in Nigerian situation. Number one, they back, they can't bite. They make so much noise, they push everybody to go out, and in 72 hours, something happens and everything crumbles and we're back to square one. I have always said my grouse with labor is this, particularly labor officers in union. To fight for salary increase is extremely myopic. Salary increase will get subsumed or consumed within 3 months of a salary increase. What about benefits to people? What about rights of workers? If a worker works in a place and he gets some level of medical treatment, some coverage in all those things, his kids can go to school and the other societal needs are taken care of, why do you need a salary increase? Go check other nations. How often do you see salary increases? The thing is, a man leaves work. They say he collects pension. His pension he will spend on one medical illness. That's not pension. The thing is, unless we sit down, labor union, they have the opportunity to help this country if they think properly. But what they're concerned about is populist attention. Oh, we got to salary increase. In 3 months, the salary increase is going to disappear. So what happens to the worker? In Nigerian labor market, people run casualization. They do all kinds of things. Some factories never been inspected by any inspectorate division or Ministry of Labor. And labor union is there. What have they done? If you walk around the Ikeja in the evening about 5 p.m., where you see these people closing, come and say the lodge of people. They earn 10,000. They walk home, they live in Iyano Ipaja. They work in Ikeja. You call that working? It's slavery, my brother. And until a labor union gets its acts right, not all these populists and noise making, they should sit down. In other nations, labor people are very strategic people.
Let's take a short commercial break here. When we come back, we'll touch on some other aspects of the ongoing food scarcity in Nigeria. Stick around, don't go away.
It is often said that the future belongs to those who are inspired to dream. Dreams of a future where we're more than able to move the entire world.
Mom, one day I'm gonna be a superstar performer.
Yes, one day. Rich and creamy peak, extra fortified with 28 vitamins and minerals. Here's to 60 years of nourishing dreams and inspiring the future. The future is bright. Reach for your peak.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
Every day of the week will bring to you divergent views on news making the headline.
If people who commit crime are being rewarded with national honors, with national appointments, then where are we going in this country?
It's not about whether it was Jonathan or whether you are going to have a Buhari. It's the kind of political structure we run.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
We are talking about a Buhari who at 41 became head of state. The man did not exhibit the attribute of somebody that is strong intellectually.
So, comrade, you're saying if you become governor, you're going to bring back Okada?
Of course.
You will bring back the market women from the
Don't put words into my mouth.
On Core Digest, we bring all of this to the court of public opinion, where you are the judge.
Welcome back. Ajibade Officer joins us now from Imo State. Can you tell us, Ajibade, what the situation really is like in Imo?
Right now, as we speak, the forest scarcity has been a problem on the neck of commuters. This morning, I witnessed a group of people trying to argue out the issue. There's the transport, the bus driver, and the workers who are trying to get to their office. And there's drastic improvement in the transport fare, and they're arguing seriously. Both of them, both groups almost exchanged blows. That the long run, they were able to calm down and they blame federal government for the whole scarcity. It is, according to many of them, they said the President Jonathan has filled with a lot of forecasted problems. So remember when the administration started, this thing was started, there was forecasted at the beginning. And the administration is ending now and there's still forecasted. So it's very tense.
Tell me, Ajibade, I understand that the commodity is scarce, but how would you describe, how do people get it in Imo? Is it available at the filling station, or the black market is also quite relevant there?
Yes. Yeah, it's available at some stations who are selling at a very high price, some selling at 250, some at 300, some selling at 400 thereabouts. But the black marketers who sell in kegs, sell per liters now at about 400 to 500, depending on whoever want to buy.
It's all right. Thank you very much for joining us now. We'll get back to you, Ajibade, when you have more updates for us from Imo. All right. Looks as if it's the same story like what we heard from our correspondent in Lagos, Ajibade Aufeso, who called in now from Imo State, also shared.
With the issue of the downstream petroleum marketing. And I can assure you that even if the strike has been called off, those that are playing the game are the people in the downstream oil and gas sector. So that is the issue on ground.
All right, the question on the lips of many Nigerians at this time is how long more? There are some planning to get married anytime soon, some who have ceremonies, some who want to travel. Can you forecast for us, being a member of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, how long more do you see this tarry?
Well, I can tell you that the ultimate solution lies in the hands of those in authority, and we are doing our best to reach out to them and to call their attention to be able to engage the stakeholders. We are human beings, we are Nigerians. We are mindful of the challenges that we all face, and we want as quick as possible to be able to find a far-reaching solution. But this cannot just be done without being properly engaged and being reassured and give some commitment to it. So, and the government cannot just be complacent, sitting somewhere and not looking for solutions. The outgoing government, whether they are in today or the leading government, they are also Nigerians and they have a responsibility. So this is what we've been crying out to be able to let them engage the people that matter in this issue and letting us have a very far-reaching solution. That is the situation. It is not just on the side of one person. The people at the top are there. They are listening to Nigerians. They are seeing what is happening on the streets everywhere in Nigeria, and they have the solution. If they are committed, if they are patriotic, that is the thing on ground now.
Do you know if we've gotten a nudge yet from the federal government, probably a dialogue ongoing between the federal government and the interested parties in this case?
Yeah, we believe that dialogue is the ultimate solution in any matter. He puts it down, looking at the issues, looking at what each side can make a sacrifice, and looking at what is the best way to find a lasting solution going forward. I'm sure that this thing will not take 1 or 2 days for us to resolve. That is what we are also using your medium to be able to reach out to government, reach out to those in authority to actually call a meeting, a stakeholders meeting to resolve this matter so that Nigerians' sufferings will be ameliorated.
It's all right. Thank you very much for joining us this hour. We'll be back with you shortly on some other of our programs. We'll be speaking with Adebayo Oluwosile, the General Secretary of Pengasi. He seemed to have shared your thought that this situation can be stemmed down in like 1 or 2 days. It sounds quite miraculous. One is wondering if we have the willpower and all of the paraphernalia of government required to make this a reality.
I'm glad the gentleman said it is in Pengasi. It is possible to resolve this today, in the sense that you resolve it and then we begin to lift fear by tomorrow and thereafter, and then you ease the pains of Nigerians. But where's the political will? I'm not sure that the Minister for Petroleum is back. She's just junketed out of Nigeria. She's gone to the UK, I think over the weekend, maybe on Friday. Look, in any serious country, for crying out loud, how will you have that kind of crisis that is strangulating economic prosperity of your country, and then you find a way to travel out? She can't say it's so important that somebody else can't do on her behalf. If then says somebody else can do on her behalf in Nigeria, then where is the backing? Where is the political will? Has the president spoken since all this started? He hasn't. The finance minister is just blowing hot air. Oh, I won't pay back. I won't. If you tell them to import oil, why are you not going to pay them?
But speaking of political will, where did this particular marketer, the Capital Oil CEO, get the political will to actually sell, defining the fact that he also is being owed? Because the major point is the innocent, the average Nigerian suffering the agony of this fuel scarcity. So don't you think all the marketers to take the same cue as the Capital Oil marketer did?
They can if they choose to. Only God knows, or he has only the reason why he's done what he's done. Maybe also to score some points, that's fine. If he eases the pains of Nigerians, the point he scores does not really matter to me. It's not, for me, he's not my darling Nigerian. So he's tried. But if others can come together and say, look, let us do this. And then, but I do understand as well that they will just say, if you do it, where does the money come from if you have imported? There must be something here that we don't understand. Independent man can say that there is something tricky that's in the middle that you and I don't have an oversight of. Until that is tackled, if Uba's case will just be like a drop in the ocean. And you never know, because if he does that, you don't know what the others can do to him. But the thing is, if he can do it, then others can join him to do it, even if thinking about Nigerians alone.
Let's talk about what all of these mean to the average Nigerian. You know, many people prior to this time have talked about, we've talked about patriotism, how patriotic Nigerians should be. Some will tell you, I have never felt government presence growing up. I paid my school fees, I paid my meals, I paid for light, I pay for everything. What impact do you see these ultimately having on the psyche of an average Nigerian that is being required every other day to be patriotic?
You know, there are two things there, patriotism and then what your civic responsibilities are. I'll look at it differently. One is, I think this is beginning to tell the average Nigerian of his own importance in choosing who should be in terms of responsibility. And I think this last election has drummed that home. People getting PVC. But the thing is, how many of us who call ourselves elite get involved? Because if you stay away, then you allow hooligans to rule you, which has been what has been happening. That's one. The issue of patriotism is, for me, is dicey. I don't see a reason why Nigeria should be patriotic. I don't say.
Why?
No, why I'm saying that is, what is the influence of government in your life? In the area where you live, you dig your borehole, you create a local government for yourself. You have 2 generators, one small, one big. You use one daytime, one at night, and then your kid goes to a private school. You pay through the roof for every service you get.
Don't you think Nigerians do that because they failed to question those in the ends of affair? So because they relapse to silence, that's why they tend to fend for themselves?
Just exactly what I said about civic responsibility. I think the good part of this that I say, the consequence, is that Nigerians will now wake up to say, hey, when I leave good people to get into government and I allow riffraffs to get there, this is what I get. But if we all get serious and ask questions and demand results, Nigeria will change. And it's the same thing I'm talking about, change. People think the change is Buhari's change, is APC's change. It's not, it's our change. The change then is, what do you want to see in the hospital different? What do you want to see in the post office different? What do you want to see on the road different? What do you want to see in various areas of your life that is different? If you see it, then you demand it. If you don't demand it, then we're going to lapse into the same silliness that we call endurance. For me, it's stupidity. When people just sit down, tomorrow, it will be better tomorrow. Tomorrow doesn't just get better.
Okay, do you see the fuel crisis as a lesson enough for Nigerians to learn from?
I hope it is. You know, Nigerians are very thick-skinned. We like suffering. We forget too easily. That's why we forgive people too easily without any sense of recompense. Somebody doesn't know he has tried, now let us leave him. Let's forgive him. Forgiveness in the Bible does not just go like that. There has to be a reciprocal responsibility. The thing is, I tell you, if Buhari comes and he begins to bring all these people to judgment and then they begin to, just let them go. At least you are now in government, just leave them. That's the way we behave. We forget it. We're like a woman who goes into labor. She makes so much noise in labor, but the moment she sees the child, she smiles and she sleeps up. She comes back next day to deliver another child. That's when Nigerians behave. We forget, suffering, and then we move on again. That's not the way to live. The thing is, something must be concrete. It must be a change that you see that is continuous, that nothing takes away from you. That's the way other nations behave.
Okay, now, Oluwo Shile actually pointed out the fact that the government is not showing sincerity. Nigerians on one part are saying that the agony is so much for them to bear. And the marketers on the other hand are saying that if the government want to sincerely speak with them, they should come up and have a way of solving this problem. Now it looks like 3 different parties are experiencing different things. Now, who should Nigerians be happy on at this time, knowing fully well that all they want is freedom from this agony?
Mine is, the Nigerian expectation is from government. I don't know the marketer. That's his business. But there's somebody in charge of the marketer and myself. Let him take responsibility. That's the way government works. It's not, my son is not doing well in school. I'm just giving an example. He's not doing well in school, and I go and hold the gardener that you're working this school. That's not the way to take responsibility. I go to the headmaster. Oh, Mr. Headmaster, this is what my child is complaining about. Somebody is bullying him. I'm not going to go and talk to the gardener or the gate man, who happens also to be in the system. But the man I talk to is the man who calls the shots. So the man we're talking to is the government.
How long really do you foresee this linger? Because the Minister of Petroleum Resources, whose picture is on the screen, one would wonder the kind of activities that has been lined up for this week on the part of Aso Rock. It's not really, there doesn't seem to be much time on the hand of the incumbent administration to kickstart a dialogue process. I'm not sure that will mature before Friday. How long do you see this linger?
No, you see, Mr. Oluwo Shile says something. If the government is serious, a dialogue can take place at 12 noon. They know the stakeholders, and they say to them, we'd like to have a meeting with you at 2. And in resolving it, they can resolve it by 6 p.m. And by 7 p.m., the marketers can be giving instructions to whoever. It's just about seriousness. I mean, if the minister, who calls herself a minister of petroleum, at this point in time is out of the country, then there's something wrong. And then we have a president who is sitting pretty here, who hasn't said a word, there's something wrong. Now the minister for, although she calls herself coordinating minister or whatever it is, she coordinates. That's why she's the one making all the noise. But does she have the full facts? If they're going to resolve it, are all the stakeholders not going to sit down together to resolve this issue? So what happens? It speaks to dissonance in governance. And that's what we're saying.
What are your expectations from Nigerians at this time? Of course, you talked about being thick-skinned, but there's a point also that you're being pushed to the wall, especially when we have dwindling resources. There's a possibility of people showing off the other part of them in jostling for their own share of the available resources.
You just said the thing that is a crucial point in Nigeria's state of suffering. Trying to get your own share. Or the man at the petrol station is getting his own share because he's hiking and then he's putting 300 naira in the pocket. But he forgets that scarcity will finish and then the 300 will not come. Those are just short-term benefits that does not speak to good thinking. The thing is, Nigerians must stand up to now form themselves into a group to say, look, what are my expectations as a Nigerian? What is the life of a Nigerian worth? What is, if anybody sees me outside this country, what does he attribute to me as a Nigerian, benefits of being a Nigerian? If we begin to think in such dimensions, we will make a difference in this country. But the thing that, because the government has taught us, the situation has taught us to think short term. Everything is now, now, now. What can I get now? What can I get now? If we do not change that pattern of thinking, it will be a major disservice to our children that are coming, because we are beginning to let them see the same thing.
Unfortunately, too, there are also Nigerians who are cashing on this situation, unemployed young Nigerians you saw in that report, who are making some cool cash from this, who probably would not also expect that the scarcity ends anytime soon.
As I said, it speaks to the way we think as a people. Let's even say the scarcity goes on for 1 year. Is this how you're going to spend your life 1 year? The 300 naira will you make at the fuel point? Let's say you make, let's say in the end of the day, the petrol attendant makes 3,000. What is 3,000 to the number of things he needs to do? To pay his kids' school fees, will he take him to hospital? Will he take him to work? When he wants to take transportation, the same man he took it from will take it away from him. We can't think like this. Look, that is why sometimes I'm worried about our NGOs. What kind of education, even the labor union, what kind of pre-election education? What we only do is we wait till a month and then we begin to tell people, don't vote like this. In the course of the 4 years before, how have we told these people the way to think?
But the way it's going now, we see reactions from communication, from banking, travel, ICT, health, economy, and the rest. Do you see Nigerians still docile in the coming days? For instance, telecommunication companies threatening to shut down. That's about 146 million Nigerians not having access to their GSMs.
But again, as I said to you, you find that we just a spontaneous reaction that makes no sense. Oh, what is happening? Bang, bang, bang. Then we make the noise. The thing is, do we always look at the sequence of events? Do we look at the genesis of any situation? When you don't, you then tackle it at the top. You leave the very fundamentals. The fundamentals are the things that should stare us in the face. It's not the noise. It's not the shout. About, oh, they're taking telecommunication. Oh, this. It will come back. After it comes back, what happens? You go back to the status quo. The thing is, how should a nation behave? Should this be one of the things a Nigerian enjoys as part of his life benefit? You understand? For instance, when there was one time I was away and there was this Ivan hurricane in the U.S., the government said, because of this, they know it will happen. This will happen, light will go, we will restore it within 48 hours. So people knew that within 48 hours something will be done, and within 48 hours was done. If it's now not done, somebody say, hey, somebody should be held responsible for this. You told me 48 hours is now 72. Nothing like that happens in Nigeria. We go back, hunky the old light has come back, let's go on. That's it. The thing is, if we don't go to fundamentals and tackle issues from fundamentals, and when we complain that it touches fundamentals, we'll be struggling in vain.
Friday is inauguration day.
Oh, yes.
Dignitaries are expected from across the world. Of course, President-elect is saying that guests should pay for their own accommodation and transportation to the venue. I don't know how realistic that is, because I'm not sure he's the one paying for all of that. But what impact do you see the ongoing food scarcity have on this?
It may disturb activity, but I'm not sure it will affect those kind of people. They will come, they will get moved from the airport and they'll go to the... But the thing is, it gives a dreary feeling to everything that should be ceremonial. The average Nigerian can't watch it. He can't partake out of it. I mean, there should be an element of we are in this together.
The president-elect is actually calling for a low-key celebration. Given the situation of things presently.
I agree. I agree, low-key. But I should be able to watch it. I should be able to have an opportunity of reading about it in newspapers or getting some information. But the low-key does not mean that I should be blanked out. So it's tough.
It's all right. Thank you very much for finding time to join us today on the show. We've been speaking with Dr. Dokun Adedeji, sharing some very insightful thoughts on the developing story as regards food scarcity in Nigeria. Thank you very much, Doctor, for finding time to come.
Thank you very much for calling me.
We hope also that subsequently you have enough food to join us on the show.
I hope so.
We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll also we have our closing remarks on the show and have some many more juicy things to intimate you with. Stick around. Don't go away.
It is often said that the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. But what about the things in life that actually inspire us to believe? Like the things that drive us, the things that move us, and even the things that remind us that the sky really isn't our limit. Because when we are inspired, we are led to future greatness. But first, we just have to believe.
One day I want to build Nigeria's first aeroplane.
I know. One day you'll make us proud.
Rich and creamy peak, extra fortified with 28 vitamins and minerals. Here's to 60 years of nourishing dreams and inspiring the future. The future is bright. Reach for your peak.
Welcome back. It's Core Digest Monday, exclusive to Coretv News, and we've talked extensively on the show today about what we described the sit-at-home order. Amazingly, Tayo, we discussed this topic last week, Friday.
Yeah, very true.
I hope we weren't prophets of doom.
No, of course. We're just good Nigerians predicting what could happen. But we didn't pray it to happen.
What do you foresee now for Friday? Probably we're talking about abundance.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Petrol selling at 40 naira per litre.
Very, very possible.
We can
actually
dream it. If we can dream it,
it can happen.
A reality.
You know, it starts from the mindset. If you think it's, like you said, 40 naira per litre, very possible.
And then while you're buying from the black market and they say it's 400 naira, you can just give them 400 naira. In your mind, you can think it's 40 naira that you're paying.
No. That's a different prophecy entirely. But really, as quick as possible, Nigerians need to be relieved from this challenges.
That's right.
Really,
relief
really
definitely will come. We have to be optimistic, and as well as we're hoping that government will also do what is rightful at this time. That wraps it on the show today. I am Nifemi Oguntoye.
And I am Omotayo Alo. Thanks for staying with us. And of course, to get more fuel, or we're hoping that you'd get enough fuel to see the inauguration ceremony and of course, be happy.
As we cover it live on this channel.
Yeah. Thanks for staying with us.
Every day of the week will bring to you divergent views on news making the headline.
If people who commit crime are being rewarded with national honors, with national appointments, then where are we going in this country?
It's not about whether it was Jonathan or whether you are going to have a Buhari. is the kind of political structure we run.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
We are talking about a Buhari who at 41 became head of state. The man did not exhibit the attribute of somebody that is strong intellectually.
So, comrade, you're saying if you become governor, you're going to bring back Okada?
Of course.
You will bring back the market women on the streets?
Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
On Core Digest, we bring all of this to the court of public opinion, where you are the judge.
Forum is
to you on
Be the first to know.
on Coretv News.
From the north, south, east, west, and around Africa,
Presidential
we break the news.
Women in Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live
I wish you would.
as the news spreads. We are Coretv News,
Welcome to Coretv Primetime
our
News.
24-hour news station.
All new on Bodyworks.
Welcome to Bodyworks, the fitness, wellness, and lifestyle show.
It's often difficult to believe.
Infertility is a condition that can actually be cured.
When you say cured, I actually find that very difficult to believe. I'm sorry.
Being an autistic child doesn't necessarily reduce your lifespan.
Let's kind of start with gonorrhea.
They call it gono.
Gono.
There's something we call plaque and calculus. Plaque is a soft teleneous material that adheres to the surface of the teeth.
And it could be life-threatening.
Most children who have enuresis and the bedwetting, about 8 out of 10, I can tell you, will have the disease. It's called juvenile diabetes.
There are a lot of diet pills out there.
There's no weight loss pill in a bottle. Point blank.
Are you saying that it's okay to bleach?
It depends on how you do it.
And then,
When the fibroid does not disturb the woman, we don't disturb the fibroid.
Well, that's been our show.
showing every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Bodyworks. Live right, be fit, and live well.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
I don't like it when people give excuses to be lazy. Oh, I can't see. Oh, I don't have hands. Oh, I can't talk. They will sit still and let self-pity overwhelm them. No, you don't have to let self-pity overshadow your dream. There is ability and disability. My name is Godwin Yosase. I sell recharge card. Okay, my prayer point is, please God, give me a wife. From Benue State, thief by tribe. I was born in Nasarawa State, where my grandfather was farming. My primary education was there, LGA Primary School, Yeruaitia in the local government. And then after that, I attended government secondary school, also Doma. So all my life was there. My father decided to add so many wives with so many children. And I happened to be the second, my second wife's son. My father has, I think, about 6 wives with, I think, more than 20 children presently. I was very, very unprivileged to have come from a family that were very ignorant. Very ignorant in the sense that they had not gone anywhere. They were just inside there and not really know what's happening outside. And that was actually what affected me most. And according to the story, I was 6 then. My body, they said, was hot in the morning. And then my mother took me to the next near village for probably for treatment. And there and then, I don't know what they see, and then I was given an injection. By the time my mother got home and wanted to remove me from the back, I couldn't stand again. And they assume, okay, maybe it's the pain of injection and all that, and that was it. After my secondary school, I couldn't have money to register my WAEC because there was none of my parents who sent me to school. I was going to school due just by assistance from probably church members and all that, some people, some concerned people around. So at the end of my school, there was no money for me to register for exams. External exams. So I had to abandon it. Then there was this federal government program they were doing, NDE. So I joined them. According to what they were told, there could be some assistance, not just learning alone, there could be some assistance from the federal government, probably there was some money that was supposed to be paying you for feeding and all that for you to learn. But by the time I started, there was nothing like that. And I didn't have where to stay. So I had to also abandon it. And in the course of beginning to think on the next step to do, an idea came to me, and I decided to leave Nasarawa State for Abuja. In Abuja, I was living in a park. There was nowhere to stay. I was living in Area 1 Park. They call it Labour Park then. In 2013, when we came for normal national programs in Lagos, Shilo, 2003, I decided to stay behind. No accommodation in Lagos. I was staying with a security man who was an Hausa person. It was actually an office. So when they closed, we come in to stay, and then early in the morning, all of us had to tidy up and leave before the office people will come in.
Okay, let's say cheese to the camera. Are we ready?
Okay.
Say cheese.
When I woke up and had my bath like every other person does, and then wear my clothes, and I'm on to my business place, of course, in Mama Cars, just to come and sell my recharge card. That's my normal day. My normal day is to come and sell, and then probably if I have a church service, I go. That's all I do. The first bank actually imported these bicycles, tricycles from China, and they were brought in during December. And there was this reach out that was carried out, and that was when the tricycles were given to us. Very helpful. I think without it would have been very difficult. It would have been very, very difficult. With it, life is very, very easy. No, I can't carry you. Physical challenge, especially in these parts of the world, is probably is being seen like an abomination. Let me put it that way, and is always so very challenging. My marriage was supposed to be about 2 years ago, when everything was set, the marriage date was fixed, everything was fixed. Even the marriage course are finished. We have attended marriage course, everything. Before on the last, at the end of the day, the two families started arguments. which the other part say, no, they cannot agree that they don't believe in this marriage. Probably I must have used some diabolical means for their daughter. The kind of woman I need is a woman whom I can really trust to handle it, because I know I am going to be very big. That is the truth. My name is Godwin's Yosase. That is my Nigerian story. A physically challenged person in this part of the world, where though you know what you are doing, you believe in yourself, you know where you are going to, you know the things you need to do, but of course you lack people, or nobody believes you can do it, nobody believes you can be anything, so nobody will want to try you at all. Nobody wants to. I think I need a family to end well.
You can now watch Coretv News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Coretv Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Coretv, leave a space, then news. Coretv News, a 24-hour news station.
Der Torschütze zum zwischenzeitlichen 1:1. Semenike schickt Musa, da ist Ahmed Musa! Und da ist der Ausgleich!
It's a beautiful Saturday evening in the city of Lagos.
Off the turn, Phelps had it, but then Matsui kept going.
Finals. 5 to shoot. Leonard does.
Sports is concerned, and of course, we can do for all of us here from all our production crew. Thanks for all your pleasure.
Some pundits believe that as long as the political system is driven by selected few, corruption may be difficult to fight.
Be careful about what you say. I am not the only politician. Even if I've wronged anyone, it is time to forgive me.
Political Arena every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. and a repeat broadcast every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m.
Employment, because if these companies are not making good money, they will retrench along the line.
Let's also look at the financial market, the capital market in general. Do you think that with the the economy running aground, will it affect the circulation of liquidity or finances into the market?
Of course, if you are not going to work, why must you go and take loan from a bank? If your business is not moving and you have no oil, no diesel to power your activity, for instance, a manufacturing sector that has no diesel to power its machine, even though they have gas linkages, these gas are no more coming because the pipeline have been blown up. So the gas are no more coming, so they have now relied on diesel to be able to move on their activities. Now the diesel are drying up, no diesel in the market. Even the car I used to drive carries diesel, but no diesel to power it today. So I have to resort to black market petrol in order to move on. And the same thing applies to very many other people. There's no alternative for them. So they won't be able to go to work. So it will lead to lots of income. How many executives will go and queue at filling station and allow their cars to be scratched by all these commercial bus drivers and also? So nobody will go. It's either they remain in the house and do their businesses on the
in our face.
I think we just have maybe 1 week more to suffer. Whatever it is less than a week. At the point of takeover, certain decisions.
Are you sure, or how optimistic are you that these, the reality of the scarcity will come to its stop when the incoming?
What we have is like a relay race.
Okay.
In a relay race, the person who runs first is going to give the baton to the next person. In the course of changing that baton, something could happen that the baton can fall on the ground, which automatically delays the process. That is what we are encountering now. Nobody wants to take a decision that will be used against him in future. Jonathan is not prepared to take a decision, and Buhari is not ready to jump into the canoe until a proper handover had been done. The two of them are right, but the sequence was faulty. The transition is faulty because Nigerians are the one paying the price. They are not paying any price. One is going, one is coming. They should have put their heads together and solved this common problem so that Nigerians can be liberated from this. They will also suffer because the money, this generation of leaders that are coming, they are looking more at the IGR, internal generated revenue, to move on. Part of internal generated revenue is the issue of tax. The tax from oil sectors of the economy will go down. And so they will not get good reward with this one they are doing. In the last 4 years, Jonathan has been able to manage the issue of fuel scarcity. We've not had perennial issues like in the Obasanjo regime. But unfortunately for him, he's ending it with on a very bad note. It's very sad.
But let's also, just before you go, I also want us to talk a little bit more about those who are, at the tail end of benefiting from this whole process that is staring in our face. How would you respond to that?
Well, those are the thugs on the road, those who are using kegs to buy, which...
But it's about those people alone. But because a lot of people are saying someone must take responsibility for these, scarcity.
Those who are taking responsibility, we all know them. They are the designer who should take responsibility. It's the Ministry of Petroleum, NNPC. Those are the ones who should take responsibility. Not that I cannot see the benefit that will accrue to them. If you know what they do, the only way you can make money illegally is when it is flowing. If it is not flowing, there is no way you can make money. The issue is oil subsidy. They have not paid them what they are entitled to. And the marketers are afraid that the new government may not pay. And that is because of trust deficiency in the system. That is why they are not prepared to lift. And if they are not lifting, there is no way they can distribute. And if they are not distributing, there is no way other people can be able to purchase it easily. And so the thugs, the area boys, they are cashing in on this, and they are buying with kegs. And petroleum attendants, filling station attendants, prefers to sell to these area boys because they will bring returns to them. I mean, somebody was asking me to come and buy fuel at 350 per litre. But if government says they want to remove subsidy tomorrow and that they will be selling at 150, Nigerians will rise up in arms. But they are prepared to go and buy it at 350. So what is the sense in that? So we should allow subsidy to go. If subsidy goes, this issue of oil marketers, they can sell at their own. After all, diesel market does not have subsidy. It has been deregulated more than 5 years ago. So every time you buy it in some places at 130, in some places 180, in some places 200, depending on where you are buying, which is okay. I mean, the closer the depot to you, the cheaper it becomes.
Interesting. So you are saying that if subsidy is being removed, this is a kind of system we're going to be having?
Oh, yes. But it will be available. It will be available, and you will know how to minimize your movement.
Interesting. Well, I want to say thank you for coming on the show, Bola Nanuga. He's the, chief editor or editor-in-chief of Financial Standard. Thank you for joining me on the show. Well, we'll take a break now. When we come back, of course, we'll be taking a look at the issue of corruption. A lot of people have attributed all of these we're witnessing to corruption in the system. Well, how far can we track corruption in all of these sectors? We'll discuss more after the break.
Of the week will bring to you divergent views on news making the headline.
If people who commit crime are being rewarded with national honors, with national appointments, then where are we going in this country?
It's not about whether it was Jonathan or whether you are going to have a Buhari. It's the kind of political structure we run.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
We are talking about a Buhari who at 41 became head of state. The man did not exhibit the attribute of somebody that is strong intellectually.
So, comrade, you're saying if you become governor, you're going to bring back Okada?
Of course.
You will bring back the market women from the streets?
Excuse me, don't put words in my mouth.
On Core Digest, we bring all of this to the court of public opinion, where you are the judge.
Women share the most amazing thoughts on national issues, and they do it passionately.
For most men that are educated, that are exposed, will see nothing to it.
The population and the level of poverty made me cry. No infrastructural development whatsoever. And you tell me Lagos is working?
That was an accident, and it was a one-off thing. Other than that, there has never been any situation in Nigeria where a Nigerian attacked anybody just because of where they came from.
Sharing the adorable word of women in politics every week, only on Core TV News.
As news breaks, people don't let events pass without giving their comment or reactions.
When the problem arises in society, these are the people that should be consulted.
To cleanse the corruption in society, we are not to provide information for good life and also security of life and property in this country.
The academic society have the loudest voice on this platform.
Whether you call it a sovereign national conference or a national conference, it's about the people of Nigeria.
There should be a change in power.
In any way they can do it.
I think there's a script already.
Every Tuesday at 8:45 p.m. on this station. From the Ivory Tower, a must-watch for the learning minds. Some pundits believe that as long as the political system is driven by selected few, corruption may be difficult to fight.
You should be careful about what you say. I am not the only politician. Even if I've wronged anyone, it is time to forgive me.
Please for Arena every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. and a repeat broadcast every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
Talk to our husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, another election is coming.
But some people will stand for Yoruba land, will be strong man. You don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
How much information do you have on the Nigerian legal system?
It does not augur well for any country where some certain persons or agencies claim to be above the law.
It's not even going to happen. You decide on the military. Is to reform the military itself and make it more subordinate to civil authority. Because for instance that the military has been abused. The military has become politicized.
How familiar are you with the Nigerian law and the constitution, especially as it concerns you?
The electoral law, as properly constituted in my mind, has really given Nigerians hope in the course of our electioneering activities.
Join us for an in-depth analysis of issues and all the happenings in the Nigerian judicial system. Stay updated, stay informed. This is Judiciary Today. Judiciary Today, showing at this time on Coretv News.
You know, Angela, that's a very difficult question.
It is difficult to respond to that question.
Angela, that's a great question.
Great question, Angela.
Angela, that is a very great question.
That's a great question, Angela.
Okay, that's a great question.
Yeah, very good question.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
That's an interesting question.
This is an interesting question you pose.
60 Minutes with Angela. Gain answers to every question you always wanted to ask.
Der Torschütze zum zwischenzeitlichen 1:1. Semenike schickt Musa, da ist Ahmed Musa! Und da ist der Ausgleich!
It's a beautiful Saturday evening in the city of Lagos.
Off the turn, Phelps had it, but then Matsui kept going.
Finals. 5 to shoot. Leonard does.
Sports is concerned, and of course, making a difference for all of us here from all our production. Thanks for your pleasure.
Nigerians are expected to seek out the best.
2 words to describe the activity.
The Yoruba Unity Forum is conducting.
Be the first to know. From the north, south, east, west, and around Africa.
Presidential
We break the news.
Women in Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live
I wish you would.
as the news breaks. We are Coretv News.
Welcome to Coretv Primetime
Our
News.
24-hour news station.
Thank you for joining us on Business and Economy and talking about tracking corruption in all sectors of the economy. We talked about it earlier, and specifically the one in the oil sector. And joins us to discuss this is Dr. Rotimi Oladele, is the president of Nigerian Institute of Public Relations. And of course, he's also the MD of Megavans Limited. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much.
Let's begin this way. How would you describe the whole process? A lot of people say that what we're witnessing now is as a result of the corruption in the system. How would you respond to that?
Well, I believe sincerely that corruption has been overstressed without looking at the causatives. When you look at corruption, it's a derivative of certain factors. It's not just common, it's a fruit of certain kind of factors which we must identify. And it's not starting today. It is when it's growing that people will now see the overbearing negative effect. When you talk of corruption, corruption starts from the followership weakness, leadership greed. Because it takes two to tango. We overblame the leadership for corruption, but followership must also share from the blame. I was telling my children that I went to primary school in a place where when you put banana at the junction and you put 2 stones or 3 stones indicating 2 pence or 3 pence, people who have no money will not go near it. People who have money will go take it and put the correct price and leave. Even when the banana rot away, nobody's going to take it. Even the coins drop there, nobody is going to steal until the owner comes. We have lost touch with our values, our virtues from childhood. We need to look at the quality of our parenting today. Quality parenting is lacking. And therefore, what you have is vagabonds, hooligans, educated but deceitful, smart but directing the smartness into negative practices. So we grew up, the first thing is the mindset of human being. If your mindset is negative, everything coming out of it will be negative. Your action will be negative. If you believe you cannot do something, you will not do it, because all your body system will obey the command of no, you cannot do it.
So are you saying that the corruption is as a result of our upbringing or the structure of the society?
Our culture, our lost values, our system of education particularly, because we have left education for literacy, and literacy is not education, it's just one unit of education. We breed every day graduates who have nothing to take to the labor market, and we spend a lot of money on this educational system. Yet look at Lagos State, a model state, an achieving state for that. With all the good efforts of this Lagos State government in the last 20 years, we are having only 5 technical colleges. Go and count the number of grammar schools we have, and you will now see why corruption. Because it means that people have to, survival of the fittest is now the way out. Those who have and those who don't have. So you have 5% of those who can go to labor market and start work or start their own enterprise, and you have 95% of those who are going out of school for 5-6 years, coming out again, becoming liability on those 5%.
So how do we balance virtues, which you have mentioned, and values, of course, and you also mentioned, with the system the government is creating through the educational system? So how do we balance these two together?
We need to go back to the basics. Even the primary schools we attended early 60s, we met elements of entrepreneurship. We met elements of virtue. We have subjects like agriculture, home economics, health science, physical education. Then you also have rooms for you to try your hands. The 3 major domains of education, psychomotor, affective, and cognitive domains, were equally developed, challenged to enable you see something you can do. Needlework. You see people at primary 5, they're already making sweater for their grandmother. Yes, I can type, I can take photograph, I can do a little bit of carpentry, I can do barbing. So that at primary school level, people were having balanced education. Then next was then secondary modern school, which we can refer to as DSS today. With my own modern 3, I picked a job as a stenographer because I had my 35 words in typing and 80 words in shorthand. A friend of mine picked a job because he was having mechanical craft certificate from a technical college in Osogbo, and he became a plumber in a big hotel. So we have relegated entrepreneurship. We have already shut up and over promoted literacy. Ask an Italian engineer to come and build a bridge for you. Speak English to him. He will tell you, I will went tomorrow and bring your bridge. Then if fine, you like it, you pay. You know, like you pay no money. I hungry, you feed. Then food, you will be the one piecing it out and joining what he's saying to get message. But look at the work he has done. Quality, global standard, benchmark it with anything. That is education.
So, Dr. Rotimi, let's also talk about this. In the next few days from now, we will witness a change of government. What are measures do you want to see put in place by the coming administration to finally tackle corruption or tracking corruption, as it were?
I love your approach to tracking. Because if you see, people say, I will fight corruption. You are fighting nothing. If you want to fight fire, what do? You go to the root of the fire. It is not up there. So what we need is to track first. And then we're able to, that's why I love your language, tracking corruption. If you want to track corruption, we go back to the cost of governance, number one. The cost of governance in this country is inimical, is unheard of, is astronomical. It is very painful. It is disadvantageous to the populace. Because why are a single human being will be cutting away 100 millions of naira per annum for sitting and talking over time? Yes, people who are working 24/7 will not be able to boast of 100,000 per annum. That inequality is too large. The cost of governance must be looked at seriously. Even that much, I said, at National Confab. If you like fixed salary or emolument for senators, House of Representative members, councillors of local government, House of Assembly members, let us know how much ABC takes and let it be reasonable. If you pay a lawmaker 5 times what a permanent secretary is taking, can call it salary, let us know. Then can't we do this job part-time? Can people do their things, and then we have a timetable of running a way that people will come in and take sitting allowance after taking accommodation, taking this and that. So then we must look at it. Somebody does 3 years, you are talking of severance, allowance, and so on and so forth. We must look at cost of governance from all its ramifications. That's number one. And number two, we must make home brands the best for this country. Let no minister or anybody send his own child abroad for anything. Look at Dubai model. Dubai indigenes will not, United Arab Emirates will not send their indigenes abroad for overseas courses. What they did was to tell the universities, come down here, we give you land, you build. As you run it in UK, come and run it here, call it the same name, issue the same certificate. Today we have about 20 foreign universities in Dubai, US and British. But in our own case, we export our money, we export our children. When they come back, after we have lost the money, they bring back foreign culture. But in Dubai, they bring in the education. They retain their culture. They retain their money. You see the sense in the. So we need to rethink so many things in Nigeria. The problem with Nigeria is that we believe we have enough. We have it. We can afford it. So we don't price. Price doesn't mean reducing the money. Looking at the alternatives. What else or how else can we do this?
Do you think that the incoming administration may want to build on some of the policies that we witness in this outgoing administration if we have to talk about tracking corruption, really?
Sure. We cannot throw the outgoing government away totally that it didn't achieve anything.
Because we've seen where the party, the All Progressive Congress, have come out to say not once, not twice, most times they've criticized the policies of this outgoing government and say, no, I think we need to look away from the policy. What are your
I will not agree with them. You cannot throw policy out, wholesome policy away. You don't take it as a bulk and then throw it away. You have to look at it one after the other. There are some of the policies that are very good. For example, the policy like the small-scale development policy, from all efforts made and structures built, we should improve on it. So all the policies are not bad. But bad ones, yes, we have to throw it away and substitute them. But good ones, whether it is PDP part that brought it in or anywhere, any other state government that's running it, the incoming government must sustain it, improve on it and sustain on it. Continuity is a beauty of democracy. A policy somersault will not help us again in this country. But for bad ones, fine. So a policy like that of the mass transit, railway system within and around town, that's a good policy.
Let's quickly take a break on this note. You're still watching Business and Economy. We'll be back after this short break. Do join us again to talk more. Well, you're back to Business and Economy, and Dr. Rotimi Oladele, the president of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, is still here with me, and he's also the MD of Megavans Limited. Thank you for being there on the show. Let's talk a little bit more on the oil sector, taking a look at the oil sector. Can we say that the government is helpless in dealing with the rot we are witnessing now? Or is it that somebody or somewhere in the government is benefiting from all of this?
Well, historically, our oil and gas sector is one of the most corrupt sector, no doubt about that. The chain is quite long and wide without value. Instead of value chain, we have corruption chain. There are so many associations, there are so many parastatals. So the regulation is not done with sincerity. It has to be absolute. Then the long-term plans that oil and gas needs to get out of this rot is not in any budget. Talking about building more refineries. I don't see Nigeria with our size of population and land mass not having a minimum of 10 refineries. More so, we have crude oil. If we are thinking development, if we are thinking future, that is what we should do. We should build for the future. And for God's sake, any import-driven deregulation for oil and gas is fraud. Because there's no reason for you to enrich the purse of a foreigner, allowing them to be happy and then be milking us while we here are now in pains, forcing us to pay higher. So what we need is deregulation that will build oil and gas that can be controlled and managed within. That is what we need. A long-term plan for more refineries. A long-term plan for human capital development. Because today, all the real key areas, decision-making and policy-making, business decision, pricing, and so we are not in charge of anything. We need to take charge of what God has given us in a bold way, with bold step. Incoming government must take long-term plans serious.
Apart from the long-term plans and the deregulation, which you have cited as one of the things you want to see put in place in order to deal with the corruption, we cannot also talk, each time we talk about the oil and gas sector, we hear words like cartel or cabal, and all of that.
There.
Do you think that they are invisible and unbroken, and they cannot be touched?
Well, everybody knows that they are Nigerians. Majority of them, at least, are Nigerians. And they smile in billions daily. But each government that comes, it's like they pocket them. Because it's easy to explain. Most of the politicians might be sponsored by some of these barons. And when you are sponsored, who pays the piper dictates the tune. They said no-go areas where you cannot go. But what we need is a bold government that will put policy on ground, that will make everybody to obey the law, that will make everybody to do the needful, that will make sure that due process is followed. I believe sincerely that incoming government, with the experience of the incoming president in that very sector, and determination, and with all he has seen, himself and his colleagues should be able to put a full stop to where a few number of people will determine what belongs to the country and what belongs to them.
Let's also look at why corruption is very difficult to track. Why is it very difficult to track?
It's always difficult.
Okay, because most time we talk about it, everyone is talking about it there. Why is it very difficult to track and wipe out?
It's very easy to explain. Corrupt people, they have money. Corrupt people, they have power because they have influence over those in governance. And if you have money and you have influence, then you may even sit at the corner. It happens everywhere. If you go to a motor park, you see all the people we call Agbero in Lagos getting money from the Danfoda and so on. The money is getting, it will alarm you that you must account for every kobo with somebody who's sitting drinking beer under the umbrella there, who didn't even come to stand on the sun. Because he has the influence on him. He has power over him. He has authority over him. He can decide to say, don't let me see here again tomorrow. And that man is there. So with money combined with power in their hands, and so that is where government needs to come in. Government needs to weigh which power supposed to be belong to the government, and this power came out of the resource allocation.
But isn't that another way to say that the government lacks the willpower to put some necessary measures in place?
Not the government necessarily, but the structure, and of course, the structure does not, because when you look at the structure of the business sector, there are certain sectors that are seen as this is what government will do. Government has no business in business. The only business of government in business is to make law, make policy, get infrastructure in place, and regulate. So if government build infrastructure robustly, government puts down the needful law and policy, and government have a regulatory program, and so business will run itself. But when you see those things not in place normally, you will see that people decide what to do and how to do it. And government will lose focus because people talking to you are those
truck and ask all of us to claim the small car and enter the big truck. We were scared and we didn't even talk. They said anyone who doesn't want to enter the truck, he should come out and they should kill him. So because we were scared and we don't know what to do, so we all entered the truck.
April 20, weekend. The Nigerian military released a statement that more than 100 of 129 kidnapped girls had been freed. The statement was retracted.
We must do everything possible to bring back these girls.
April 21, parents said 234 girls were still missing. The Nigerian military, working with vigilantes and volunteers, searched the forest near the Nigeria-Cameroon border. April 23, the first tweet with the hashtag #BringBackOurGirls was sent out via Twitter. A speech by Nigeria's former education minister, Obi Ezekwesili, inspired the tweet sent by legal practitioner Ibrahim Abdullahi. 3.3 million tweets were sent across 69 countries. Nigeria generated 27% of the number, the US 26%, while 11% came from the United Kingdom. 56% of the tweets were sent by women, while men accounted for 44%. April 26, the Bring Back Our Girls Facebook page was created for more awareness. A website, bringbackourgirls.us, was later opened with a daily countdown. April 29, parents lash out at government for failure to rescue the girls.
The government is doing nothing at all, honestly.
April 30, the movement launched under the title Bring Back Our Girls commences a daily sit-out to raise awareness about the abduction and speed up the girls' rescue. Hundreds march on the National Assembly to demand government and military action against the kidnappers. May 2014. May 1. Hundreds of parents, many dressed in red, protest in Chibok to demand help from the government and other countries.
Bring back our beautiful girls now. Bring them back home to Chibok. I want to see them walking down the streets, gisting and smiling. Bring them back now.
May 2. President Goodluck Jonathan sets up a fact-finding committee urging the body to investigate all the details of the situation. May 3. Police said they were still unclear as to the exact number of students kidnapped. They asked parents to provide documents to an official count as school records had been damaged in the attack. May 3 and 4. Protests hold in major western cities, including Los Angeles and London. At the same time, the hashtag #BringBackOurGirls began to trend globally on Twitter as the story continued to spread. May 4. Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan spoke publicly about the kidnapping for the first time.
We have not seen dead girls. That is the good news.
Saying the government was doing everything it could to find the missing girls. At the same time, he blamed parents for not supplying enough information about their missing children to the police.
The Chibok girls.
During the presidential media chat, the president was highly criticized over the slow reaction to the crime.
The case of the Chibok girls, I believe now that we are working with Chad, working with Cameroon, I believe in the next few weeks, the story of the Chibok girls will begin to get better. The issues of at least rescuing some of them and so on. I believe that I cannot say the president said so. I don't want to be quoted.
May 5. Boko Haram's leader Abubakar Shekau claims responsibility in a video statement for the mass abduction and vows to sell the girls as slave brides. May 7. U.S. First Lady Michelle Obama tweets a picture of herself with a sign reading #BringBackOurGirls, joining a social media storm. The picture was retweeted 57,000 times, the most retweeted with the hashtag. The campaign also attracts politicians, actors, and other prominent public figures across the world, such as Pakistani education activist and Nobel Peace Prize laureate Malala Yousafzai, CNN star anchor Christian Amanpour, as well as many leading musicians in the world. May 9. Amnesty International claims Nigeria's military was warned of the school attack but failed to take action due to lack of manpower. The UN Security Council strongly condemns the mass kidnappings, which it says may amount to crimes against humanity under international law. May 10. British, French, China and US experts provide help for the search operation. May 11. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu offers assistance to the Nigerian president in locating the missing girls. May 12. Boko Haram releases a new video showing about 100 of the missing girls, alleging the teenagers have converted to Islam and will not be released until militants are freed in a prisoner exchange. May 16. President Goodluck Jonathan cancels scheduled visits to Chibok, citing security reasons. This prompts fresh criticism from families affected by the attack. May 17, President Goodluck Jonathan attends a high-profile security summit on Boko Haram in Paris, comprising Nigeria and its neighbors Benin, Chad, Cameroon, and Niger. They vow to work together to fight Boko Haram in what Cameroon President Paul Biya describes as a declaration of war.
With the assistance and investment we are making now, we'll be able to bring terror to an end in Nigeria.
May 21. The United States deploys 80 military personnel to Chad to help regional efforts to rescue the schoolgirls. May 25. Nigerian authorities are said to have started, but then called off the deal of swapping the girls for Boko Haram prisoners, as it was previously offered by Shekau. Presidency is under attacks from all sides. May 26. Nigeria's highest-ranking military officer, Chief of Defense Staff Alex Bade, says they have located the missing teenagers, but warns a rescue operation would put their lives at risk. June 2014. June 7. At least 20 young mothers are abducted from a nomadic settlement near Chibok by suspected members of the group, according to local residents. June 24. Local officials say at least 30 people were killed and 68 women and girls abducted in several fresh attacks. July 2014. July 4. 63 of the 68 women and girls abducted managed to escape. July 12. Pakistani human rights activist Malala Yousafzai visits Abuja. July 13. Malala meets with 5 of the girls who escaped. July 14. Malala meets with the president Goodluck Jonathan and persuades him to meet the devastated Chibok girls. Jonathan offers to meet the relatives of the hostages for the first time since the mass abduction, after being urged to do so by Pakistani education activist Malala Yousafzai. The families reject the president's invite, demanding that he meet with all the parents, not just a select few. Presidency blames Bring Back Our Girls campaigners for whisking away the parents who were to visit him at the presidential villa in Abuja. July 17, Presidency sent another letter to the girls' parents, and the event is rescheduled for the next week. On the same day, the European Union passed a resolution calling for immediate and unconditional release of the abducted schoolgirls. July 18, Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima says 176 teachers have been killed and 900 schools destroyed in Borno since Boko Haram began attacking them in 2011 because they are centers of Western education. September 2014. September 25. Nigeria's police claim that one of the schoolgirls has been found, but elders reject the claim. October 2014. October 17. Government spokesman Michael Mary says no deal is in place to release the girls after the presidency says a ceasefire deal has been reached with Boko Haram.
The search for the Chibok girls continues.
Boko Haram chief Shekau later dismisses the ceasefire claim and says all the girls have been married off. November 2014. November 14. It was reported that the Islamist militant group Boko Haram has taken control of Chibok town and implemented the Sharia law. The army recaptures it 2 days later. March 2015. March 6. Work begins to rebuild the kidnapped girls' school in Chibok. March 17. Nigeria's army chief admits there is no news for now about the girls' fate, despite military successes in recapturing towns from the insurgents. April 2015. April 12. Christian Interdenominational Service holds to commemorate 1 year of the abduction, flagging off a week-long activities. While this is not an exhaustive account of how events have unfolded over the past 1 year, it may pass as a fair chronicle of action, measure and proceedings so far, an effort made all over the world to bring back our girls.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
Talk to her husband that you should keep promise about what you said. And because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
Also, some people will stand for Yoruba land. Will be strong man. You don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
You know, Angela, that's a very difficult question.
It is difficult to respond to that question.
Angela, that's a great question.
Great question, Angela.
Angela, that is a very great question.
That's a great question, Angela.
Okay, that's a great question.
Yeah, very good question.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
That's an interesting question.
This is an interesting question you pose.
60 Minutes with Angela. Gain answers to every question you always wanted to ask.
Afrofest TV, celebrating the African heritage.
Omu Eleni, a small Yoruba town with great aspirations. According to history, people began to settle in this town as far back as 200 years ago. Their origin can be traced to Ile-Ife, the ancestral home of the Yorubas.
There's a settlement called Orilewu near Ile-Ife. It was a very prominent settlement in those days. But the surrounding people were envious of the people living at Orilewu. So at the time, they gang together and waged war against that Orilewu. So everybody was forced to disperse to different locations.
Mat weaving is a major occupation of both men and women of this town. It is from this occupation that the town derived its name, Omu Eleni, which means Omu, the mat maker.
Omu Eleni is just this. Omu is the town. Eni is what we do. That is mat. In English, it's mat. Our women, they weave mat. In fact, some men too weave mat. And I think throughout Nigeria, they know us with mat weaving.
Apart from mat weaving, the people also trade in palm wine, which according to the people is medicinal.
Palm wine can cure fever. Any type.
John Chibog Nwachukwu, the Okpaloku of Umutu. This is a village town crier who had come to carry the message of the Okpaloku on the activities of the festival to the people. There he goes, performing his traditional role. The Ikenge festival period is a period to be happy, a period to share, a period to welcome visitors, a period to simply be merry, and no one was left out from the celebration. Not the children in Umutu. The people of Umutu are calm, peace-loving people who are predominantly farmers. With the famous river Ethiopia flowing through the town, the people have no problem watering their land.
Umutu Atakoku came from Abe, a son of Umutu that came from Abe too. He wanted to marry, and according to history, those of them that want to marry used to go to hunting to give their father-in-laws. So this man went on hunting expedition, and as he was going, he saw the river. He saw the river Ethiop, known our local language as Onoku. When he discovered the river to be very sparkling, he now went back to Akuku and told them that he had discovered a very good stream, very neat for people to inhabit near it. Because in that place they dig wells to get water. So that was what made them to move from Akuku, where we call the Umutuno, to this place where we are living today. This is known as Umutuogo, that farm settlement. The Umutuno is the one at Akuku. But today, I don't think any Umutu person is still living in that very village again. They have all come to this place to get settled.
The Ikenge celebration officially announces the beginning of a new year to the people. The festival also signals the start of a fresh planting season.
Ikenge festival is what we do in every end of a season. The Ikenge festival, after the celebration, we start a new season. We cannot go back to the farm. Without that, we cannot go to the farm to brush, nor to start again for the year. So after the Christmas, and then we now have a Ikenge festival to usher in a new season for farming.
As part of the custom, there is a dance competition during the festival. Young men in different groups camp out in the forest, training and preparing for the competition. When they come out, they not only dance, they parade their kills. The roasted animals hung on the stakes are evidence that Ikenge, the god of luck, was with them all the while. These are the Ukwata dancers. They are getting ready for their own dance, the dance of peace. No Ikenge festival is complete without this dance. The eagle signifies peace, and it is generally believed by the people that anywhere you find the eagle, you will find peace. The eagle is tied to the head of the leaders of the groups. And after preparations, they danced around the community, sharing the peace.
The eagle signifies blessing. Wherever you are in the world, if you have an eagle around you, you know there are good tidings around. So we are expecting a lot of good tidings for this community in the incoming year.
This year's Ikenge festival was unique.
is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
You should talk to your husband that you should keep promise about what you said. And because people are watching you, another election is coming.
But some people will stand for Yoruba land. Will be strong man. You don't die.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless. Hello and welcome to your darling program, The People, the program that echoes the voice of the people, even the voice of the voiceless. I am your host, Emmanuel Ajayi. On today's edition of the program, we're on the street again, sampling the opinions of Nigerians about the fuel hike. Nigerians are reacting, and trust me, on the streets, hear what they have to say.
The sufferness is too much. I've been here for the past 2 hours now. Even if I'm going to hospital to get a common 4 liter, there is no chance. They don't even give me the 4 liter. And I have bad leg. I'm going to hospital. They refuse to give me. What I will just say is that I will beg the federal government to please be pardon people. You are all suffer for the fuel. It's not a good thing.
Seriously, I don't think I know what the cost is right about now, because I came here for like 2 hours. I've been here more than 2 hours now. I've not been able to get fuel to get, okay? But what I'm just hoping that in the next, say 31 hours, I'll be able to get mine, because I'm just like the 4th person. I've seen some guys approach me actually to get fuel from them, black market, but I just opted out. I didn't want to get, because I don't know where their product is coming from. I don't know their source. But I feel since I'm already in front of the pump, I'll be able to get in the next 1 hour, hopefully, before leaving here.
NNPC says there is no fuel shortage. But here we are, there is. We don't know who to believe. The main cause is the fact that we are still importing fuel. If we produce our fuel in this country, there will be no shortage.
I don't think there is anything that we can write home about for now. The situation of things is getting worse by the day, especially when it comes to the issue of power and the energy, which is the oil and gas sector of the economy. The problem is nobody even knows what is going on now. Federal government is claiming we have fuel in the system, but NNPC are not pumping out. We just keep seeing promising upon promising. Now, for the past 2 days, we've been going around.
It's not today that they started promising us, but I want to believe that he's a gentleman anyway. The present president is a gentleman. I want to believe him. There is no doubt that this scarcity could be as a result of sabotage. We wouldn't tell. But one thing that is very common in Nigeria is that the fuel scarcity has come to stay, and nobody has really come out to tell us the reason why there is persistent fuel scarcity all the time.
What we can say about this fuel scarcity is too much. We have been suffering for this fuel since last year. Despite the fact we are buying at the rate of 100 naira, yet you can see masses moving up and down, could not be able to survive their family. So let the government try to do something to it. It affected because all my family will depend on the fuel. If I can't go out now, that's all I can provide for my family. What I can say is that let the federal government check into the point of the view to be able to make things to be easier for we masses. For instance, the rich men are not suffering of fuel. It's only with the poor masses that are suffering. So we need them to intervene in that situation.
Yeah, there is scarcity of the fuel, and this thing is affecting both social and economic, political way of life of our people. For instance, I've been here since 8 o'clock. This is 1 o'clock. I've not been getting fuel. And when I want to travel to my village, which is about 200 kilometers to Ibadan, I need 500 liters of fuel, 50 liters of fuel at least. But I'm going to get 30 here. That means I can't reach my town. Okay, what I want the federal government to do is that to increase the supply of fuel to petrol station, and not the major causes of this fuel scarcity should be addressed, because the fuel determines the price of products in the market, and it affects every fucking individual in the society. For how long? You can see an aged person, about 60 years, riding Okada. This is not palatable to our economy. It's better we pray that the present government should bring a meaningful and tangible change that will affect the every fucking life of a private individual in our society.
The masses users feel in their day-to-day activities. The government should please have mercy on us.
If there's any other word to use than terrible, I will use it. We are suffering. This is unfair on the part of the citizens. We are suffering. There's nothing to say more than we are suffering in this country. We are living in the midst of plenty. Unfortunately, we have none.
It's quite unfortunate. Nigeria is number 5 oil well producer. So I can't even imagine a country, wallowing in oil will have such a problem, intermittently in and out. So is it distribution problem? Is it whatever the issue, it should have been resolved. So I don't know why we should waste human power, time, energy, in just queuing up. So my advice for government is, what is really the problem? Today they say, they're importing fuel. It's a disgrace and a shame for a country like Nigeria to be importing fuel. It's a disgrace and a shame. You sell the crude oil, they refine there, you buy them and bring it out. It doesn't make economic sense. So my advice for government is, what has happened to our refineries? That's number one. Number two, how much is a refinery? Will a refinery cost for them to build so that they can, refine? That can be more than enough for the masses.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
You should talk to her husband that you should keep promise about what you said. And because people are watching you, another election is coming.
But some people will stand for Yoruba land. Will be strong man. You don't die.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless. As the fuel eye continue to ravage us in Nigeria, do not store the fuel at home because it is highly inflammable. Till I come here again with another inspiring episode of the program. Be the best and not the rest. Is success and not a failure. Bye-bye. The man on the streets have come to realize that the power to make decision lies in the hands of the people.
The president is the most guided person in Nigeria. And men getting to him is like, we all know it's a political propaganda, so I don't believe what he said is true.
But they are not just ordinary people.
Up to that time, when you look at Nigeria has been a confluence of a theater of anarchy, confusion, dichotomy, marginalization, and a lot of lamentations have been existing.
They are people of influence.
I'm not happy. How can my brother plan against me to kill me when you know that I'm in power to save you? I protected you to make things good for everybody in Nigeria. Not even I. Everybody in Nigeria.
And they are very, very important.
What we want now is who will salvage Nigeria. We are not interested in tribe or ethnicity or whatever.
Joining us on Coretv News this hour, I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Nigeria's President-elect Muhammadu Buhari says no minister will be picked by governors for the incoming administration. Buhari dropped the hint at the weekend in Abuja. He insisted that he would choose his ministers by himself from the 6 geopolitical zones, irrespective of political party and without consulting governors. Now, this is a clear departure from the tradition of the People's Democratic Party, where governors are asked to nominate ministerial appointees. He had earlier said his cabinet would be made up of people with the requisite experience and committed technocrats. The president-elect said his choice of cabinet members would stimulate the incoming administration towards delivering good governance that would meet the aspirations of Nigerians. The lingering fuel crisis is beginning to take a hard bite on the nation's economy as motorists across Nigeria now spend hours in queues to get fuel. The most troubling of all is that there appears to be no end in sight now to the fuel shortage, as most businesses are shutting down. In this special report, Coretv News' Frank Omolape takes a look at how the crisis is worsening with a fast-emerging black market and roadside vendors.
Queues of motorists waiting to buy fuel have become the order of the day and are growing longer with every passing day in Africa's biggest producer of crude oil. And now, not just motorists, but the economy risks grinding to a halt.
Is these people causing all these things? They are owning this fuel, they are touching it, they keep this fuel somewhere, they no sell it, they want us to be suffering for it.
The stress of getting fuel this time around has become unbearable, as you can see. Many motorists have been here for more than 6 hours queuing to get fuel. Sometimes the filling stations operators will just stop all of a sudden that they are not selling fuel.
The problem is a standoff between the federal government and oil importers over unpaid fuel subsidies. Nigerian oil importers are claiming close to $2 billion for fuel subsidies before they resume steady supply, but the government disputes the figure. Meetings to settle the staggering subsidy claims have not yielded fruit, and in the meantime, there are no fresh supplies of fuel deepening the crisis situation.
Following from the release of the last payment, 154.56, the owners of the trucks have agreed to allow their trucks to start loading.
We've discussed the issues they have on the table, and we are looking into them. Government is a continuum, and I think that you'll find that whatever the issues are, they will be resolved so that Nigerians will not suffer.
This has now given rise to roadside fuel vendors, most of them young men in their mid-20s, while exploiting desperate motorists and feeding a costly black market. Indeed, it is brisk business for them, buying the fuel and reselling it a few meters from the pump station at a hefty margin. So lucrative has this black market become that they have formed cartels bribing pump station workers to frustrate motorists and reserve supplies for them.
I have to have profit because some people where they queue, where they have to hurry up to go their work or their job. So I will sell it for them. If I call it for them 6,000, some of them will say 5,000. I will sell it for them 5,000. So that is my own profit. Maybe like 3,000, 2,000. Now that one they used to chop. Before I buy that fuel, they will tell me that in this 30 liter, I will pay the 300 naira for keg. After that, I will bribe the attendant with the inside filling station.
These few vendors behind seems to be the real winners of the crisis. Just about 100 meters away from the pump station, a liter of petrol sells at more than double the official pump price simply because some motorists can't afford the endless waiting.
The corruption started from the filling station. Even the manager, the way they used to treat people in this country is very, very bad. Why a lot of people have queued from 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and they are not selling fuel for them. No fuel. Eat today, no light.
The situation threatens to get out of hand if not addressed urgently. Nigeria will need up to 40 million liters of imported fuel per day to match with the existing demand. Refining a quarter of its crude oil should provide steady supply of fuel, but the existing refineries are too small and poorly maintained. The federal government recently issued several domestic refinery licenses, but most could not start due to prohibitive cost investment.
Frank Omalape, Coretv News, Lagos.
The All Progressives Congress says President Goodluck Jonathan is handing over a nation in deep crisis, even as his administration continues to contrive more crises without making any effort to solve any of them. In a statement issued in Abuja on Sunday by its National Publicity Secretary Lai Mohammed, the party, however, appealed to all Nigerians not to lose hope, despite the daunting challenges they were currently facing in this atmosphere of contrived chaos, adding that help is on the way. It expressed sadness that the nation had been on autopilot for the past several weeks, saying the outgoing administration had shown neither the capacity nor the willingness to resolve any of the crises it had contrived and foisted on the nation. Meanwhile, President Goodluck Jonathan and Vice President-elect Yemi Osinbajo on Sunday worshipped at the National Christian Center, Abuja, as part of activities lined up for the 2015 presidential inauguration ceremony. The interdenominational inauguration service will also double as a presidential Thanksgiving service for the outgoing president and his wife, Patience. President Jonathan used the opportunity to thank Nigerians for the support they gave him throughout his stay in office. He also asked them to extend the same support to the incoming administration of Muhammadu Buhari.
So we are quite pleased today, and I have to join every other person to thank God for today. For me, I have to remain very grateful to God, because in 2007, when I was here and I was asked to speak, I can't remember exactly what I said. That was 8 years ago. But one thing I do know is that I call upon the Christians to pray for me. I'm quite pleased that today we are here, not to celebrate the disintegration of this country, but we are celebrating the unity of this country.
I want to just say that the Christian Association of Nigeria has said it all. They have said all that need to be said about your bold and courageous act. All that we will say is a word of prayer for you, and the Lord God Almighty will cause His mercy and His compassion to remain in your life forever in the name of Jesus. And that every day of your life you will experience peace, you'll experience joy, and that you will look back at these years in peace and joy, and that the Lord God Almighty will strengthen you, and that you will live long to see even the great glory of this nation in the name of Jesus.
If you want to build what will endure, you must take time to study, to organize, to plan, and to start. And so we appeal to Nigerians to avoid the syndrome of Hosanna today, crucify him tomorrow. May that not be our portion in the name of Jesus.
But I live there now.
The incoming All Progressives Congress administration will require about 4.1 trillion naira to offset part of the debt left behind by the outgoing President Goodluck Jonathan's administration. National Chairman of the APC, John Oyegun, said this during a retreat for senators elected on the party's platform in Abuja. He explained that the Buhari administration will require the funds to pay the outstanding salaries of public servants at the state and federal levels, fuel subsidies, as well as debt servicing, among other expenses. Oyegun thereby urged the senators to be prepared to pass requisite laws at short notice in the course of their duty in the National Assembly. According to him, there is not shying away from the truth that there are 12 times ahead. Oyegun noted that the situation on ground now has not reduced the expectations of Nigerians, some of whom expect instant miracles. Some Nigerians, as said, are expecting that as soon as the inauguration
everybody they talk, say Lagos is beautiful. Government they try, but you must to contribute your own. As they make money for Lagos, you pay your time.
In a matter of weeks from now, a newly elected government will mount the saddle of leadership in Lagos State, with the mandate to continue the good works of the outgoing administration led by Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola, SAN, and also to improve the lots of the good people of Lagos State. This week on Tax Talk, we spoke to a cross-section of residents in the states who shared their thoughts on the activities and achievements of the Babatunde Fashola administration in the last 8 years. Acknowledging the fact that the outgoing government in Lagos State performed so well in the area of infrastructural developments, respondents who spoke to Tax Talk praised the efforts of Governor Fashola and his team in transforming Lagos State.
The tenure of Governor Fashola, in fact, he has scored almost about 90% of his program. For instance, in terms of infrastructure, so he has provided accessibility to roads. Then he has the hospital. He has established about 10 hospitals in various divisions of Lagos State. For instance, the one at Ifakonjayi has been upgraded. So in terms of sport facilities, he has established so many sporting facilities. And then looking at that, in terms of education, he has performed tremendously. Then home ownership scheme, he has created so many affordable houses to either civil servants or people living in Lagos State. So, and in any event, whenever there are any issues in Lagos State, whether of emergency, he always try to respond quickly. So he has done tremendously. Looking at all the infrastructure they have done during the last 8 years, he has performed excellently.
The outgoing government of Babatunde Raji Fashola has performed creditably well in Lagos, and you can see the evidences are visible. The evidences are visible, and you know, he's leaving a legacy, I believe, in all aspects of development, of structural development in Lagos, in transportation, in the schools. A lot to talk about, you understand? A lot to talk about.
He's one governor every other governor would like to be like. Obviously, he has set a target. He has made it. Focus about life itself is you have structure. With structure, you'll achieve. He has structure before he got there as an individual, not just representing government, but representing government going by the democratic essence, government for the people, by the people, or whatever. So he's an individual who is seeing himself doing it right. We don't need to wait for government for everything.
Fantastic. Raji Fashola has really made everything he promised from the day one happen, at least if not fulfilling yet. You know, we see the work ongoing, and what I think about Lagosians, I think they are happy with his government. Because everybody's contribution that they are saying about Fashola is they believe he can deliver even at the federal level. So to everybody's view on this kind of individual, their opinion about him is straightforward. They believe his accountability is strict and it's flexible about his governance.
For the past 8 years of Governor Fashola's administration, a lot had been done in terms of dividends, delivery of dividends of democracy to the people at the grassroots, in terms of infrastructural development of the Lagos as a metro city. He has touched so much, so many lives in so many ways, in terms of, for instance, the facilities we are seeing around the road network, and also the provision of potable water, you know, the revamping of the existing water system in the city. He has really tried a lot. He has also done a lot in terms of manpower development. Talk about the career civil servants, the public servants within Lagos State. He has been able to, you know, impact on them positively, and also in the health sector too. We've seen a lot of hospitals and clinics, and also the improvement in the welfare of the staff, the generality of the people at the in the working within the system. So it's so far so good. He has really tried.
My family always wanted a home of our own.
But we never thought it would come as a result of the fruit of the taxes we pay. Not until we heard of the Lagos Home Ownership Scheme. We followed the simple process, we got lucky, and now we own our own home. At first, it seemed too good to be true. It felt like I was dreaming until Lagos Homes handed us the keys to our new home. Then I knew our home. It was a dream come true.
I am a witness to the growth and development going on in Lagos. But my appreciation has gone further with the coming of the Lagos Home Scheme, which I am a direct beneficiary of. Now, I'm enjoying the benefits of my taxes.
My new home was a pleasant surprise. And guess what? All I had to do was fill a form, provide proof of residency in Lagos, and my tax payment for the past 5 years. And when my name was picked at the public draw, I paid my initial deposit and I became a homeowner.
Housing for all, another benefit of tax payment in Lagos State. Pay your tax. It is your civic responsibility. It is your duty. It is the law.
As one of the states in the country, leading the crusade for the use of tax as a reliable and dependable means of ensuring sustainable development, more respondents who spoke to Tax Talk scored the Babatunde Fashola administration high in using taxpayers' money judiciously for the benefit of all.
Where people have the culture of taxation, they will be demanding accountability. That will put pressure on the government to perform. Unlike where you just share oil money and you are not even asking government. You can't ask government because it's not your money. But if you have paid your taxes, you can ask the government what they have done with the money. So for the government to have taken a radical view, say, we will collect from you, whatever it is, so come and ask us for accountability. So it means that they were actually ready to be accountable. And this is without prejudice to any form of the government. And not, so whether it is APC or PDP or Labour Party, no. Any government that is able to demand taxes from the people is ready for accountability. And this, in my own view, is creditable. It is supposed to be credited that they have the courage on one side of the issue. Then the other side is in terms of the infrastructure. I think both people in Lagos and people outside Lagos do know that there are material development, in Lagos. Even though, yes, government will still do better in terms of still investing more, of those funds on infrastructure.
Generally score Babatunde Fashola's government. If there's 100, it has 10 above 100 because he has set a target, for God's sake, for crying out loud. All over Nigeria, other governors will say, we want to be like Lagos. It means we all know what is good. The heavens we create in our heart is what we see around, the powerful essence of the mind. There is that thing he did, which I will mention, which everybody could take account of. He sets agenda to give account of his administration from the first 100 days. And every 100 days, he comes on to say, this is what we've been able to do. Carrying his people, his team along. The leader that is in him is been made manifest. But then, let's talk about the tax area where Lagos State can be said to have been buoyant to be able to execute a lot of things. That notwithstanding, what about some governors in the past who may have been there, plenty of money to use, of course, not being used to have the effect? If people are talking about is a tree planting, whatever, if they will think deep, it's a global issue. Money has gone into it, but it's going to give us the general benefit at the end of the day because we'll be fresher here. Now, talk about every area of his administration. I think there is that pass mark.
I'll give the administration a pass mark, probably 8/10. He has really done a lot. He's acclaimed. He's said to be one of the best serving governors in Nigeria based on his achievements and things we can even see around us, from beautification to his reform in the transportation sector, the BRT buses and all. Well, a lot has been done, and I think there is still room for improvement. There is still room for improvement. Taking, for example, it's in the whole federation, it's only Lagos State corpers. I mean, teachers posted to public schools in Lagos State that receive a certain amount of state allowance. That's 15,000 naira. No other state in Nigeria beats that. At least I can talk about the welfare package for corpers. At least that's top notch.
With the outstanding achievement of the Fashola administration, Lagosians are hopeful that the incoming government, to be led by Mr. Akinwumi Ambode, will not only consolidate on these achievements, but do much more.
The first thing is for them to build, on what the outgoing government has done. Materially, there are so many areas they still need to fix the road. There are complaints, of electricity in some villages, in some areas. It's epileptic. It's because you don't have good roads there where the poles are falling and, all those things. Even if those who want to do electricity are doing it, then and the roads are bad. When it's rain, you have them falling here and there. So there are quite a number of areas they could do. If you talk about education, there are still some areas where children, are still sitting down on some chairs that are not good enough for learning. So these are areas that the incoming government should focus on. Health care service delivery is another area that cuts across. It is good we have government hospitals where people can go. The outgoing government really tried in that area, but notwithstanding, the new government can build more on those things, such that many people would like to go to government hospital as well. So these are areas that the government need to focus on. But one critical area that this outgoing government had tried very well is area of security. The incoming government should try to maintain that level if they cannot do more. If they do more, it will be fantastic, because to a greater extent, I think Lagos is one of the states in Nigeria where people can sleep with their two eyes closed. And with security, a lot of things are going to follow. Most of the investments, they need security. No investor will want to come to an area where there is no security. So these incoming governments should not relax in terms of security. So those are the things that I think the government should materially focus on.
The one area which I know is very, very, very vital, the economic empowerment. And I see him being ready for it. Let me tell you why. Because some people may not note the manifesto or what some people want to do. What you see around being displayed is simple. His plan to empower businessmen and investors. It means within here and outside. Money that could have been somewhere, and the blueprint that he has is what we need to know. But if he has that focus, it means it will trickle down from the top to the small and, of course, the medium scale people around. And if that empowerment is there, I know his problem will not be that of energy, because we know what Lagos government is into right now. And I think there is a roadmap by the APC government to achieve all that. So energy, generally, top. Empowerment, economic-wise, here. That is to the people. But we need support from the government. The support is simple. Chart that roadmap. And I think he has something on ground. That area of let us empower investors and businessmen.
My general expectation from this coming administration, one, we in Lagos State, we are clamoring for stability of power. So if it is that power, electricity alone, that they can ensure that the people in Lagos State can get. In fact, it will enhance everybody, because if you have electricity, you can do any business you like. Apart from security again, apart from electricity, another issue is that the issue of security, and then creation of employment, because we have a lot of people in Lagos State, they have no job. If they can now marry this, if they can tackle the issue of unemployment and then the security issue, because the outgoing governor has tried a lot, in fact, he has created a security fund to ensure that at least they bought vehicles for police. He has bought a lot of CCTV on the main roads. So if the incoming governor, Honorable Ambode, can develop on it, it's going to enhance the commercial activities of Lagos State. And at the same time, they should try as much as possible to continue with the drainage, that because it's always a problem in Lagos State, but Honorable Fashola has tried tremendously to ensure that at least to some extent, so he has addressed that particular, and that area should be also addressed. He should not mind anybody that is caught. For instance, look at Oshodi. Before he came to Oshodi, it was a rotten place, but he closed his eyes and ensured that the whole place is motorable and you can park, you can even walk at any point in time. So he should try as much as possible to ensure that all those things he developed on it.
The incoming administration, Ambode's government, should definitely have its own roadmap, but take a cue from how this man has been able to set out to achieve his own roadmap. Simple. Take a cue from how he has been able, although we have individuals' attitude to things or achieving, but you should take a cue. You should take the legal angle serious. Use it as his backbone to get a lot of things done right. Things that are still there, that people are not really responding to, but the administration of Babatunde Fashola is trying to talk about. Lagos is clean. You've got to move some people away from some areas. Some people are saying, okay, yeah, he has been able to do that, but at the expense of some people's livelihood. But come to think of this, are they not resettled somewhere else? We want to talk about the motorbike, where people get easy route to the hospital, deaths all over the place, and above all, the robbery with the motorbikes. It has gone down. To get it right, a lot of people might not want to get too flow with you, but if you have your focus, you can get it done right. And then you'll be vindicated at the end of the day. That is what I see, and that's what I believe we can do.
Every day, around our Lagos, women are contributing to growth and development. They are working in companies big and small. They are buying and selling. They are the heart and soul of our ever-beautiful city.
Lagos State Government recognizes that women are major drivers of its economy, and we must continue to participate in its economic growth by paying our taxes as and when due. We must continue to support our government and ourselves by laying solid foundation for our children and generations yet unborn. By paying our taxes, we are not only performing one of our civic duties, we are also participating in governance and contributing to the overall welfare of the state. I therefore implore professional women like me to make it a point of duty to pay their taxes as and when due.
As a young woman who has just joined the labor force, I'm very glad to say that I pay my tax. I pay because I recognize the value the taxes we pay bring to the growth of our state. I pay because every day I consider development around me. I pay because it is my civic duty. I pay because it is the law.
Pay your tax. It is your civic responsibility. It is your duty. It is the law.
Some of the respondents also went further to set agenda for the incoming government in Lagos State, focusing particularly on areas they wish for the new government to concentrate on more.
There are so many challenges associated with a metropolitan city like Lagos. And for the incoming administration, they need to beam their light on the infrastructural development of the continuity in the infrastructural development. The road network must continue. Fashola has tried, but the last 4 years is not unlike the first 4 years. So we need to look at that. We need someone like Ambode that is coming on board now to actually look at the existing road and creating new ones. The challenge of Lagos is the challenge of major cities of the world. The network of road, we still need to build more roads. The government have to look into that, and if possible, now that we have the federal government that is an APC, state government APC, they can look at the Port Milan Bridge. It's not impossible. And then they can look at the metro lines to aid transportation, to make people have a sense of belonging, to raise the standard of living of the average Lagosian. People can walk anywhere from walk in any part of Lagos from anywhere. Those are the the challenges that we are looking at that Ambode must be able to address when it comes on board. And also, we must be able to look at the welfare of the public servants. These are people that, they've been in the system for long, but their standard of living is nothing compared to other major cities of the world. So he must also be able to look at that. A lot of them are going on strike at one time or the other. They have expressed their grievances and they are expecting some things from the government of the day. So I think the APC government of Ambode must look into that too, because these are the people that will make the system to work. So they must really look at them, the human, potentials too, and how to develop them.
Dividends of democracy has to trickle down to the less privileged. You understand? And I will expect that in terms of agriculture, in terms of providing food for the populace at cheaper rates, you understand, Ambode should do a lot to make Lagosians happy. And aside that, I think we have issues with security. If you go around, you'll see that we still need a lot to do. You understand? Concerning security. So I expect an improvement in the area of security.
Youth empowerment. There are lots of youths out there that has ideas. Personally, myself, my head is beaming with ideas. But these opportunities, there should be an accessible pool of funds, or how do I get it, that we can easily access capital from, maybe from paying with a particular interest. We can't just walk into banks and tell them I have this mad idea. Where is your collateral? Where is the land you want to? But I think if maybe there's a program where youth can actually come out with their plans and the viable plans, what they can actually see that will work. If they can actually empower these youths with some certain funds, I think that will go a long way. And apart from youth empowerment, as I said earlier, electricity and security, I believe the Ambode governments can still improve on that also.
Every day, around our Lagos, women are contributing to growth and development. They are working in companies big and small. They are buying and selling. They are the heart and soul of our ever-beautiful city.
Lagos State Government recognizes that women are major drivers of its economy, and we must continue to participate in its economic growth by paying our taxes as and when due. We must continue to support our government and ourselves by laying solid foundation for our children and generations yet unborn. By paying our taxes, we are not only performing one of our civic duties, we are also participating in governance and contributing to the overall welfare of the state. I therefore implore professional women like me to make it a point of duty to pay their taxes as and when due.
As a young woman who has just joined the labor force, I'm very glad to say that I pay my tax. I pay because I recognize the value the taxes we pay bring to the growth of our state. I pay because every day I consider development around me. I pay because it is my civic duty. I pay because it is the law.
Pay your tax. It is your civic responsibility. It is your duty. It is the law.
That is all we can take on this episode of Tax Talk. Join us again next week as we bring you the views and expectations of more Lagosians from the incoming government in Lagos State. Till then, bye-bye.
The soup was sweet, yo. Na money cook am. Everybody they talk to say Lagos is fine. Lagos is beautiful. Government they try, oh yes. But you must to contribute your own work. As you they make money for Lagos, you pay your tax. Oh yes. Pay your tax, yo.
Listen list of newly elected governors. Abia Okeze Ekpeazu, PDP. Adamawa State, Jibrila Bindo, APC. Akwa Ibom, Emmanuel Udom, PDP. Bauchi, MD Abubakar, APC. Benue, Samuel Otom, APC. Borno, Kashim Shetima, APC. Cross River, Ben Ayade, PDP. Delta, Ifeanyi Okowa, PDP. Ebonyi, Dave Umahi, PDP. Enugu, Ifeanyi Ugwanyi, PDP. Gombe, Ibrahim Dankwabo, PDP. Imo, Rochas Okorocha, APC. Jigawa, Abubakar Muhammad Badaru, APC. Kaduna, Nasiru El-Rufai, APC. Kano, Umar Ganduje, APC. Katsina, Aminu Bello Basari, APC. Kwara, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, APC. Lagos, Akinwumi Ambode, APC. Nasarawa, Tanko Alumakura, APC. Niger, Abubakar Sani Lulu Bello, APC. Ogun, Ibikunle Amosun, APC. Oyo, Abiola Ajimobi, APC. Plateau, Simon Lalong, APC. Rivers, Nyesom Wike, PDP. Sokoto, Aminu Tambua, APC. Taraba, Darius Ishako, PDP. Yobe, Ibrahim Gaidam, APC. Zamfara, Abdulaziz Abubakar, APC.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digi360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
Talk to our husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, another election is coming.
Because some people will stand for Yoruba land, will be strong man, you don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
So what is 60 Minutes with Angela all about? It's not an interview. I like to think it's
PDP, Ogola Foster, Bayelsa West, PDP. Benue State, David Mark, Benue South, PDP. Barnabas Gemadi, Benue East, APC. Akumi George, Benue West, APC. Borno State, Abubakar Okiari, Borno North, APC. Ahmad Zana, Borno Central, APC. Ali Ndume, Borno South, APC. Cross River State, Rose Oko, Cross River North, PDP. Geshem Baxi, Cross River South, APC. John Eno, Cross River Central, PDP. Delta State, Alfred Joseph, Delta Central, PDP. Peter Nwabushi, Delta North, PDP. James Manager, Delta South, PDP. Ebonyi State, Ogba Joseph, Ebonyi Central, PDP. Samuel Ego, Ebonyi North, PDP. Sunday Oji, Ebonyi South, PDP. Edo State, Clifford Odia, Edo Central, PDP. Matthew Ugochide, Edo South, PDP. Francis Alimi Kena, Edo North, APC. Ekiti State, North, PDP. Gombe State, Bayero Nafada, Gombe North, APC. Joshua Lidani, Gombe South, PDP. Goji Danjuma, Gombe Central, APC. Imo State, Samuel Anyang, Imo East, PDP. Uzodima Good Hope, Imo West, PDP. Achono Neji, Imo North, PDP. Jigawa State, Abubakar Gumer, Jigawa Northwest, APC. Sabu Mohammed, Jigawa Southwest, APC. Mohammed Shitu, Jigawa Northeast, APC. Kaduna State, Suleiman Hunkuyi, Kaduna North, APC. Shehu Sani, Kaduna Central, APC. Danjumala, Kaduna South, PDP. Kano State, Barau Jibrin, Kano North, APC. Rabiu Kwankwaso, Kano Central, APC. Kabiru Gaya, Kano South, APC. Katsina State, Mustafa Bukar, Katsina North, APC. Abu Ibrahim, Katsina South, APC. Umaru Kofi, Katsina Central, APC. Kebbi State, Yahaya Abdullahi, Kebbi North, APC. Adamu Alero, Kebbi Central, APC. Bala Ibienala, Kebbi South, APC. Kogi State, Dino Melaye, Kogi West, APC. Abdusalami Uhiari, Kogi Central, APC. Abdurrahman Abubakar, Kogi East, APC. Kwara State, Shaba Lafiagi, Kwara North, APC. Bukola Saraki, Kwara Central, APC. Rafiu Ibrahim, Kwara South, APC. Lagos State, Oluremi Tinubu, Lagos Central, APC. Ulubenga Shafa, Lagos East, APC. Adola Olamilekon, Lagos West, APC. Nasarawa State, Abdullahi Adamu, Nasarawa West, APC. Philiparo Agiyunka, Nasarawa North, PDP. Salih Hussein Egie, Nasarawa South, APC. Niger State, Aliu Sabi Abdullahi, Niger North, APC. Mustafa Sani, Niger South, APC. David Umaro, Niger East, APC. Ogun State, Olarewaju Tejoshu, Ogun Central, APC. Buruji Kashamu, Ogun East, PDP. Bolahon Dada, Ogun West, APC. Ondo State, Ajayi Borofis, Ondo North, APC. Tayo Alashwadura, Ondo Central, APC. Jele Omogunwa, Ondo South, PDP. Osun State, Ulushola Adiyeye, Osun Central, APC. Babajide Omawurare, Osun East, APC. Isiaka Adeleke, Osun West, APC. Oyo State, Mansurat Sumono, Oyo Central, APC. Buhari Abdulfatai, Oyo North, APC. Adesoji Akombi, Oyo South, APC. Plateau State, Jeremiah Useni, Plateau South, PDP. Joshua Darie, Plateau Central, PDP. Jonah Jang, Plateau North, PDP. Rivers State, George Sekibo, Rivers East, PDP. Olaka Nwogo, Rivers South East, PDP. Osinachiku Ideuzi, Rivers West, PDP. Sokoto State, Ibrahim Gobri, Sokoto East, APC. Aliyu Wamako, Sokoto North, APC. Ibrahim Abdullahi, Sokoto South, APC. Taraba State, Abubakar Sani Danladi, Taraba North, PDP. Bashiru Marafa, Taraba Central, PDP. Emmanuel Gwacha, Taraba South, PDP. Yobe State, Bukar Baba Ibrahim, Yobe East, APC. Ahmad Lawan, Yobe North, APC. Mohammed Hassan, Yobe South, PDP. Zamfara State, Kabiru Garba Marafa, Zamfara Central, APC. Tijani Yahaya Kaura, Zamfara North, APC. Ahmed Rufai Sani, Zamfara West, APC. FCT, Phillips Aduda, Federal Capital Territory, PDP.
God make everything dey good for us. This ground good well. Everything come from the ground. If it's in a pikin, if it's in a money, anything, if it's in a food, person know am now. Say now from the ground everything dey come. This ground na big miracle. You no think so? Me, na from this ground I dey chop. I no go joke with am. My name is Sheson Ajoje. I'm a farmer. For farm, me I no go write paper. Only me and the God. I go tell God, I wan plant something before 3 months now. Make it, I go wan collect something. But for government, I go tell am say the paper go write so, go bring the thing, go carry the thing, go bring the thing. I come from Ogun State. My father born like five children because me I dey inside like number 4. Salamu, you never move pure water, bye. Never move pure water. I marry only one. I born like 6 children. One they do mechanic, one they do weather, one they learn this carpenter, one they learn mechanic engineer of this generator. So another one learn that is small one, he still go school. Second one dey for this soon. Na woman, 2 woman, 4 woman. Na get, but the wife don die. He's sick now. He's sick like 1-2 months. Na weak low, but I know say not be weak low. Na God na say time don reach before go die. Because if you see weak low dey do am, if you say not be another person don put your hand, you no go fit die. The time my baba come from this Ogun State, na here I come stay. I no go that house, you don see am now. Na old house now. You don tell me I no go fit talk na so this year. Because we had dey talk like 200 years now. It be like say go be like this. Because don old patapata. The time this place don fall down. You be say come take the block manage am. After now you know say everything don. God know say this one na old the house. I did okay. Àwa ni see am if the time I dey work well. You see am if I dey put your things inside like this now, come put am for my body. Me if the person say wan buy a tablet for me, I go tell am say I no need. If I don wake up in the morning, I go pray for the mosque. If I dey comot like this 7 o'clock, I don enter for my farm. I go do work from 7 o'clock reach 10 o'clock. I go comot go do security for that my brother for this place now. After now I comot around 5 or 6. I go come for my house, come relax. So early in the morning because na 2 times I go farm before, but now na 1 time. Come turn like this. Like this. Because you know say some go enter for school come read am. But for my own, if I plant corn today now, I go tell them the day they germinate. If I plant cassava today, I go tell the day they germinate because I don't get the sense like this. So now say I plant and come read them inside the book. Say now so go check and I go tell them say if rain they enter, what this corn now 5 days it don't germinate. If say now I wait 3 days it don't start to germinate. But if say now cassava now 1 week it go germinate. So now so everything day lie by lie. See, this is okra. In the night, if I pass for this place now, I go see many fish. Big one. The fish they bite the person inside this water. Honestly. If I put touch like this now, if I don't see the fish like this now, you don't know say kaki not be like that. I don't know the thing government they do. If the government won't help anybody, make it government go look at. But you go tell them say don't worry. If you are another thing they enter. Go do am. Another person go enter. He go do until now God go know the thing go do for this place. You know say if you wan go Ikotu, if you wan go Ejigbo, if you wan go Isolo, if you wan go Yanopaja, motor dey pass for this place before now. My name is Sheson Ajoje. That's my Nigeria story. I need money, I need fertilizer. You know, say some dey talk say government dey try, but you know near me. If they near me now, I go talk say don't collect inside.
Nigerians are expected to seek out the best.
2 words to describe the activity.
The Yoruba Unity Forum is conducting.
Be the first to know. On Coretv News. From the north, south, east, west, and around Africa.
Presidential
we break the news.
Women in Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live.
I wish you would.
As the news spreads. We are Coretv News.
Welcome to Coretv Primetime News.
A 24-hour news station.
All new on Bodyworks.
Welcome to Bodyworks, the fitness, wellness, and lifestyle show.
It's often difficult to believe.
Infertility is a condition that can actually be cured.
When you say cured, I actually find that very difficult to believe. I'm sorry.
Being an autistic child doesn't necessarily reduce your lifespan.
Let's kind of start with gonorrhea.
They call it gono.
Gono.
There's something we call plaque and calculus. Plaque is a soft terenaceous material that adheres to the surface of the teeth.
And it could be life-threatening.
Most children who have enuresis and the bedwetting, about 8 out of 10, I can tell you, will have the disease. It's called juvenile diabetes.
There are a lot of diet pills out there.
There's no weight loss pill in a bottle. Point blank.
Are you saying that it's okay to bleach?
It depends on how you do it.
And then,
when the fibroid does not disturb the woman, we don't disturb the fibroid.
Well, that's been our show.
Showing every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Bodyworks. Live right, be fit, and live well.
You know, Angela, that's a very difficult question.
It is difficult to respond to that question.
Angela, that's a great question.
Great question, Angela.
Angela, that is a very great question.
That's a great question, Angela.
Okay, that's a great question.
Yeah, very good question.
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
That's an interesting question.
This is an interesting question you pose.
60 Minutes with Angela. Again, answers to every question you always wanted to ask.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
You should talk to your husband that you should keep promise about what you said. And because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
But some people will stand for Yoruba land. Will be strong man. You don't die.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless. Hello and welcome to your darling program, The People, the program that echoes the voice of the people, even the voice of the voiceless. I am your host, Emmanuel Ajayi. On today's edition of the program, we're on the street again, sampling the opinions of Nigerians about the few Nigerians are reacting. And trust me, on the streets.
Register for exams, external exams. So I had to abandon it. Then there was this federal government program they were doing, NDE. So I joined them. According to what they were told, there could be some assistance, not just learning alone. There could be some assistance from the federal government. Probably there's some money that was supposed to be paying you for feeding and all that for you to learn. But by the time I started, there was nothing like that. And I did not have where to stay. So I had to also abandon it. And in the course of beginning to think on the next step to do, an idea came to me, and I decided to leave Nasarawa State for Abuja. In Abuja, I was living in a park. There was nowhere to stay. I was living in Area 1 Park. They call it Labour Park then. In 2013, when we came for normal national programs in Lagos, Shilo, 2003, I decided to stay behind. No accommodation in Lagos. I was staying with a security man who was an Hausa person, who it was actually an office. So when they close, we come in to stay, and then early in the morning, we all of us had to tidy up and leave before the office people will come in.
Okay, let's say cheese to the camera. Are we ready?
Okay.
Say cheese.
When I woke up and had my bath like every other person does, and then wear my clothes and I'm on to my business place, of course in Mama Cars, just to come and sell my recharge card. That's my normal day. My normal day is to come and sell, and then probably if I have a church service, I go. That's all I do. The first bank actually imported these bicycles, tricycles from China, and they were brought in during December. And there was this reach out that was carried out, and that was when the tricycles were given to us. Very helpful. I think without it, it would have been very difficult. It would have been very, very difficult. With it, life is very, very easy. No, I can't carry you. Physical challenge, especially in these parts of the world, is probably is being seen like an abomination. Let me put it that way, and is always so very challenging. My marriage was supposed to be about 2 years ago, when everything was set. The marriage date was fixed. Everything was fixed. Even the marriage course are finished. We have attended marriage course. Everything before on the last at the end of the day, the two families started arguments. Which the other part said, no, they cannot agree that they don't believe in this marriage. Probably I must have used some diabolical means for their daughter. The kind of woman I need is a woman whom I can really trust to handle it, because I know I am going to be very big. That is the truth. That is the truth. My name is Godwin's Yosase. That is my Nigerian story. A physically challenged person in this part of the world, where though you know what you are doing, you believe in yourself, you know where you are going to, you know the things you need to do, but of course you lack people, or nobody believes you can do it, nobody believes you can be anything, so nobody even wants to try you at all. Nobody wants to. I think I need a family to end well.
Welcome to 100 Years in 100 Words. Cultures in Nigeria. Nigeria is a blessed nation. Our culture is shaped by our multi-ethnic groups. The country has over 50 languages and over 250 dialects and ethnic groups. Nigeria is believed to possess one of the finest cultures in the world, ranging from cuisines, clothing, languages, architecture, hospitality, traditional music, dance, art, and much more. The three largest ethnic groups are the Hausa Fulani, who are predominant in the north, the Igbos, who are predominant in the southeast, and the Yorubas, who are predominant in the southwest. The Edo people are predominant in the regions between the Yoruba land and the Igbo land. This group is followed by the Ibibios and an Efik people of the coastal southeastern Nigeria and the Ijaws of the Niger Delta. The rest of Nigeria's ethnic groups are found all over the country, especially in the Middle Belt and the North. The Hausa tends to be Muslims, and the Igbos are predominantly Christians. The Efik, Ibibios, and Ain people are mainly Christians. The Yorubas have a balance of members that are ardently of both Islam and Christianity. Indigenous religious practice remains important in all Nigeria's ethnic group. These beliefs are often blended with Christianity or even Islam. One cannot help but savor the rich delicacies from tuwo shinkafa with miyan kuka of the north, to the akpu with ofe oweri of the east, and inyo with egusi soup of the west. Who will resist the afang soup, specially made in the beautiful city of Calabar? Call it a fishing frenzy festival. It is one of the most famous cultural festivals in Nigeria, and it is celebrated to mark the beginning of the fishing season in Arugungu, a riverside town in Kebbi State, between February and March every year. It is called the Arugungu Fishing Festival. Eyo is not just unique, but central to the city of Lagos, Africa's biggest metropolis. It is widely believed that Eyo is a replica of a modern-day carnival in Brazil. You need to attend festivals such as the Benin Festival, the New Yam Festival, Osun Festival, and Shango Festival to understand the beauty embedded in Nigeria's culture. Nigeria is a blessed nation.
You can now watch Coretv News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Coretv Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Coretv, leave a space, then news. Coretv News, a 24-hour news station.
Hello and thank you for joining us on Coretv News 3. I am Ebulomo Adekunle. All the parties involved in issues that led to the nationwide fuel scarcity have reached an agreement at a meeting brokered by senators. Chairman, Senate Committee on Petroleum Downstream, Magnus Abe, disclosed this after a closed-door meeting on the sidelines of an investigative hearing on the nationwide fuel scarcity. He noted that following the resolution, oil marketers and tanker drivers would begin to lift fuel at depots within 6 hours of the agreement. That's at about 7:30 p.m. More details in his subsequent bulletins. The lingering fuel scarcity has continued to bite hard on the nation as premium motor spirit PMS now sells between 150 and 350 naira per litre. In Lagos, most petrol stations in the metropolis were crowded as commuters queued endlessly to get the scarce commodity. PMS is now being sold for 600 naira per litre at black markets nationwide as commercial transporters triple transportation fare due to the scarcity. Commuters were seen walking long distances as they lament the increase in transportation fare. The fuel crisis has resulted in the shutdown of operations in various sectors of the economy as some schools have ordered pupils to stay home pending the end of the crisis. The lingering fuel crisis is beginning to take a hard bite on the nation's economy as motorists across Nigeria are spending hours in queues to get fuel. The most troubling of all is that there appears to be no end in sight to the fuel shortage as most businesses are shutting down. In this special report, Coretv News' Franco Malape takes a look at how the crisis is worsening with a fast-emerging black market and roadside vendors.
Queues of motorists waiting to buy fuel have become the order of the day and are growing longer with every passing day in Africa's biggest producer of crude oil. And now, not just motorists, but the economy risks grinding to a halt.
Is these people causing all these things? They are owning this fuel, they are touching it, they keep this fuel somewhere, they no sell it, they want us to be suffering for it.
The stress of getting fuel this time around has become unbearable. As you can see, many motorists has been here for more than 6 hours queuing to get fuel. Sometimes the filling stations operators will just stop all of a sudden that they are not selling fuel.
The problem is a standoff between the federal government and oil importers over unpaid fuel subsidies. Nigerian oil importers are claiming close to $2 billion for fuel subsidies before they resume steady supply, but the government disputes the figure. Meetings to settle the staggering subsidy claims have not yielded fruit, and in the meantime, there are no fresh supplies of fuel deepening the crisis situation.
Following from the release of the last payment, 154.56, the owners of the trucks have agreed to allow their trucks to start loading.
We've discussed the issues they have on the table, and we are looking into them. Government is a continuum, and I think that you'll find that whatever the issues are, they will be resolved so that Nigerians will not suffer.
This has now given rise to roadside fuel vendors, most of them young men in their mid-20s, while exploiting desperate motorists and feeding a costly black market. Indeed, it is brisk business for them, buying the fuel and reselling it a few meters from the pump station at a hefty margin. So lucrative has this black market become that they have formed cartels bribing pump station workers to frustrate motorists and reserve supplies for them.
I have to have profit because some people wait the queue, where they have to hurry up to go their work or their job. So I will sell it for them. If I call it for them 6,000, some of them will say 5,000. I will sell it for them 5,000. So that is my own profit. Maybe like 3,000, 2,000. Now that one they used to chop. Before I buy that fuel, they will tell me that in this 30 liter, I will pay the 300 naira for keg. After that, I will bribe the attendant with the inside filling station.
These few vendors behind seems to be the real winners of the crisis. Just about 100 meters away from the pump station.
Presidential we break the news. Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are Coretv News.
Welcome to Coretv Primetime News,
a 24-hour news station.
Muhammadu Buhari is a familiar name in Nigeria's politics, but became prominent more as a military leader. His life started years before, on December 17, 1942. Buhari is a native of Dora in Katsina State, raised by his mother after his father died when he was about 4 years old. In December 1989, Buhari married his second and current wife, Aisha. The marriage produced 5 children. Buhari joined the Nigerian Army in 1961 through the Nigerian Military Training College, now Nigerian Defense Academy, NDA, in Kaduna, and rose through the ranks, serving in various capacities and attending courses both in the United Kingdom and India. He was also made Military Secretary, Army Headquarters, and was a member of the Supreme Military Council between 1978 and 1979. At the rank of Colonel, Buhari was part of the class of 1980 that attended the U.S. Army War College in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, United States of America. and gained a master's degree in strategic studies. In 1983, Major General Buhari and Major General Tunde Idiagbon were selected to lead the country by middle and high-ranking military officers after a successful military coup d'etat that overthrew Second Republic civilian President Shehu Shagari in December of that year. In 1985, Buhari was himself overthrown in a coup led by General Ibrahim Babangida on August 27, and other members of the ruling Supreme Military Council SMC, ostensibly because he insisted on investigating allegations of fraudulent award of contracts in the Ministry of Defense. Buhari served as the chairman of the Petroleum Trust Fund (PTF), a body created by the government of General Sani Abacha and funded from the revenue generated by the increase in the price of petroleum products to pursue developmental projects around the country. Now a converted Democrat, Buhari contested the presidential election as a candidate of the All Nigeria People's Party in 2003. On the 18th of December 2006, General Buhari was nominated as the consensus candidate of the All Nigeria People's Party. His main challenger in the 2007 April polls was the ruling People's Democratic Party PDP's Umaru Yar'Adua, who is also from the same state, Katsina, and he lost. In March 2010, Buhari left the ANPP for the Congress for Progressive Change (CPC), a party he had helped to found. Buhari was the presidential candidate of the Congress for Progressive Change (CPC) in the 16th of April 2011 general election, running against incumbent President Goodluck Jonathan of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Malam Nuhu Ribadu of the Action Congress of Nigeria, and Ibrahim Shekarau of the NPP. They were the major contenders among 20 contestants. Buhari won 12,214,853 votes, coming second to the incumbent President Goodluck Jonathan of the PDP, who polled 22,495,187 votes and was declared winner. General Muhammadu Buhari ran in the 2015 presidential election as a candidate of the All Progressives Congress. In February 2015, former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo quit the ruling PDP and threw his support behind the Buhari-Osinbajo ticket. Having made several efforts before now, the 2015 presidential election is General Muhammadu Buhari's fourth attempt for the #1 citizenship of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It is also the first time a sitting president was unsure of re-election and thus goes down in history as the nation's most keenly contested election so far. After several months of rigorous campaign travels across Nigeria and certain key nations of the world, after ceaseless uncertainties about the election, having survived several attacks both at his person and eligibility, General Muhammadu Buhari, Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, GCFR, has been declared winner of the 5th general election in Nigeria's 4th Republic. By this declaration of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, General Buhari becomes the second military general and former head of state in Nigeria to be elected as president in a democratic Nigeria.
54 countries, over 2,000 languages, but united in similar interests. As news breaks, we give you in-depth analysis around Africa every Monday on Core TV News.
All right, a very big thanks for joining us. It's Around Africa on Core TV News, where we give you the very best of what's happening across the continent, motherland Africa, they call it. And today on the program, we'll be taking you to Burundi, where we'll be looking at the crisis going on, where the president is vying for a third term, while the constitution says it's just 2 terms. In office, 5 years.
Nigerian currency. Nigeria has used various forms of currencies, including cowries and manillas. During the British colonial rule, pounds and shillings was Nigeria's legal tender. On July the 1st, 1959, the Central Bank of Nigeria issued the Nigerian currency note and coins, which saw the end to the West African Currency Board notes and coins, which had been in existence since 1912. As the saying goes, change is constant. The new government of Nigeria saw the need to change the legal tender status of the currency on 1st July 1962 to reflect the country's new status. The change also occurred in 1968 as a war strategy following the misuse of the country's currency notes. March 1971, the then head of state announced that Nigeria would change to decimal currencies as from January 1st, 1973. The major currency unit will be called Naira, and it will be equivalent to 10 shillings. The minor currency unit will be called Kobo, hundreds of which will make 1 Naira. The change that took place was a major one, and this involved both currency notes and coins. The major unit of currency, which used to be £1, ceased to exist, and the 1 Naira, which was equivalent to 10 shillings, became the major unit. On 11 February 1977, after the assassination of General Murtala Mohammed, the then head of state of Nigeria, a new banknote denomination of the value of 20 Naira was issued. This was special in 2 respects. The 20 Naira banknote was the highest denomination to be introduced then, and its
of certain recent developments which have necessitated his decision to withdraw from further prosecution of silver. In a letter to the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Kayamo says that the development may hamper his effective, efficient and vigorous prosecution of the charge, duties that are to another counsel for due prosecution. Trial was fixed to commence on Monday, May the 25th, 2015. Now, Nigeria's President-elect Muhammadu Buhari says no minister will be picked by governors for the incoming administration. Buhari dropped the hint at the weekend in Abuja. He insisted that he will choose his ministers by himself from the 6 geopolitical zones, irrespective of political party and without consulting the governors. This is a clear departure from the tradition of the People's Democratic Party, where governors are asked to nominate ministerial appointees. He had earlier said his cabinet would be made up of people with requisite experience and committed technocrats. The president-elect said his choice of cabinet members would stimulate the incoming administration towards delivering good governance that will meet the aspirations of Nigerians. In the meantime, the All Progressives Congress says President Goodluck Jonathan is handing over a nation in deep crisis, even as his administration continues to contrive more crises without making any effort to solve any of them. In a statement issued in Abuja on Sunday by its National Publicity Secretary Lai Mohammed, the party, however, appealed to all Nigerians not to lose hope, despite the daunting challenges they are currently facing in this atmosphere of contrived chaos, adding that help is on the way. It expressed sadness that the nation had been on autopilot for the past 7 weeks, saying that the outgoing administration has shown neither the capacity nor the willingness to resolve any of the crises it had contrived and foisted on the nation. President Goodluck Jonathan and Vice President-elect Professor Yemi Osinbajo on Sunday worshipped at the National Christian Center, Abuja, as part of activities lined up for the 2015 presidential inauguration ceremony. The interdenominational inauguration service also doubled as a presidential Thanksgiving service for the outgoing president and his wife, Patience. President Jonathan used the opportunity to thank Nigerians for the support they gave him throughout his stay in office. He also asked them to extend the same support to the incoming Buhari administration and, of course, to help the government succeed.
So we are quite pleased today, and I have to join every other person to thank God for today.
for me, I have to remain very grateful to God. Because in 2007, when I was here and I was asked to speak, I can't remember exactly what I said. That was 8 years ago. But one thing I do know is that I call upon the Christians to pray for me. I'm quite pleased that today we are here, not to celebrate the disintegration of this country, but we are celebrating the unity of this country.
I want to just say that the Christian Association of Nigeria has said it all. They have said all that need to be said about your bold and courageous act. All that we will say is a word of prayer for you, and the Lord God Almighty will cause His mercy and His compassion to remain in your life forever in the name of Jesus. And that every day of your life you will experience peace, you'll experience joy, and that you will look back at these years in peace and joy, and that the Lord God Almighty will strengthen you, and that you will live long to see even the great glory of this nation in the name of Jesus.
If you want to build what will endure, you must take time to study, to organize, to plan, and to start.
PDP party cards or APC party cards or no party cards. But they've all suffered. And I think any sensible person who considers himself or herself as a leader ought to show serious concern for this. Whoever wants to color it politically, that's the person's prerogative.
As the state government lifts the imposed curfew, it is hoped that lasting peace will return even as the victims continue to count their loss. Rashid, Coretv News. Ade.
In the kitchen, but this time to politics, where a member of the House of Representatives, Okpayemi Bamidele, has faulted the All Progressives Congress world leaders in his country home of Iyin-Ekiti for listing conditions for his defection to the party. The chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Legislative Budget and Research, had last Tuesday announced his defection with other members of the Labour Party to the APC. But in a joint communique signed by the APC chairman in Iyin Ward A, Okpe Ogundele, and Iyin Ward B, Folorunsho Adewi, after a meeting last Wednesday, the APC leader said they only learned of his defection through the media. Bamidele had in 2014 defected from the defunct Action Congress of Nigeria, one of the founding parties of the APC, to contest under the platform of Labour Party in the June 2014 governorship election won by Governor Ayodele Fayose. While admitting that though the Nigerian constitution allowed freedom of association and exit, the world leaders said they expected Bamidele to consult within the grassroots party structure before organizing the defection ceremony to join the APC. However, in a statement by his media aide, Ahmed Salami, in Ado-Ekiti, Bamidele described the conditions as not only antithetical to democratic norms and ethos, but hypocritical and smack of ignorance about the party's modus operandi. Bamidele said he actually carried the national leadership of the party and, of course, their chairman, John Odigoyegun, and the deputy national chairman, South, Chief Segun Oni, along in his defection to the party. He wondered where the world leaders derived their powers from to act in a brazen manner, which suggested that they were ignorant of the constitution and how a respectable party like APC operates. Our next story is to Enugu State, where Sullivan Chime, the governor, has admitted that he stepped on many toes in the course of his 8-year stay in office. Every serious government, he says, must step on many toes, according to the governor. Chime, who spoke at a valedictory Thanksgiving Mass at the Holy Ghost Cathedral, Enugu, however, explained that he stepped on the concerned toes in order to succeed in his quest